Oh my God, we're here. We're live on the internet. We're back, baby. Hello, my friends. It's Monday night. We're gonna play some D&D in space. Welcome back. He's ripping stuff up. Stuff's getting crazy.
BS credit card offers? No, thank you. In the trash.
Starting off strong.
10%.
What a
Don't know why I waited
Incredible.
until we went live to do it, but I did.
It was a
It's a
real
direct
dramatic.
start.
one.
Very dramatic, yes.
I thought it
Like
was a
very-
commentary on the discovery that this planet that you find yourself on, Troy, does not approve of oppression, but they love capitalism.
Yeah, it had a very cute lion. Maybe this island or this planet that we're on has a cute lion that'll tear us to pieces. I don't
What
know.
are planets, if not islands, in space? Right?
Very true. Speaking of islands in space, we have a new face.
We
that is
do.
a
There's
very
a new
own
face
island
in space.
added to our archipelago of fun.
Will, welcome
Wow, look at
officially
hello.
to the Dragonfly.
I'm happy to be here. It's a good time.
Huzzah. Yay.
Yeah.
Indeed. It's a delight to have you. We've had a lot of fun guests so far this season. This one has been long in coming. I think that we spoke months ago. We saw each other in May, and I was like, yeah, how about June? I mean, July, August. Okay, yeah, so September. Right.
Hey, whenever it came up, I was ready. I was just
Hell
waiting.
yeah.
Yeah, time moves slower in space, or so we have discovered. That was one that I was thinking about a lot this week. Stuff that Rich thinks about that none of you have asked in 50 episodes of Spelljammer is, where's the sun?
I thought about that this week and I was freaking out about it, actually. That's hysterical.
I
was,
learned
like,
my
sitting-
lesson. I can't ask questions, otherwise the whole stream shuts
Oh,
down.
It was
That's
very
now.
funny.
I
And
was
I think we have to
sitting.
start with the basic
my
question:
gosh.
is there only one sun?
Yeah.
That's so I literally
mean-
I was sitting on the porch looking out over this gorgeous lake and I was like, is there a sun in our giant
gotta be.
game? I was like sitting there for minutes just looking at this serene lake, and what I was pondering was the existence of suns in our Dragonfly universe.
Well, there's
Uh,
certainly stars. Stars exist.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
no.
You
Yeah.
I think it's
think
just a
so,
good
yeah.
reminder to anyone considering DMing out there that as much as you want to like put in all the effort to justify everything and answer every question, your players are not gonna notice half
No.
the time.
Yeah.
And then when they ask
start
you
small.
stuff, just make it up.
Yeah,
The wizard
Rich, where's
did
the
it.
sun?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rich. Where's the sun?
Yeah.
now we
mean-
want to know.
We do want to know.
Question. If we were to look at Ben's little map, which is our only point of reference really
Yes.
for space, on the bottom sort of right corner off east to Foam Termin, the entire array of planets is rotating around a sun, which is in the bottom right corner of our map, if that makes sense. How does that justify
Well-
the geology and the weather patterns of these planets?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold
Magic.
on. I'm sorry. So we're on like 10 or 11 o'clock on a really big clock rotating around the sun.
Mhm,
And this is just like a small pack of planets that are together.
mhm.
And that there could be like, I can't even.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
whole
That's why we need to
time?
figure
The
out how to
whole
jump the dragonfly. Break the spheres. Break the spheres.
Oh, well, that sounds a lot like crossing the streams. There's so much nonsense that I've thought of, Will, for this game that, like, no, it definitely doesn't matter. I got a whole notebook of like insane person notes that like I've never even looked up. The one day my power goes out relatively often, as frequent viewers of Dragonfly might know. And I had one night like this summer, last spring, where the power's out for like 14 hours. And I sat here in candlelight, like frantically, like Charlie Day, like writing like a madman in this notebook, wildly like inspired about our D&D campaign in space. And like, I don't know, I've referenced a line or two from that along the way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would like to read that someday.
What's everybody eating?
Right now, or just in general?
In general,
mean,
I did
it's
the
an-
classic internet ordering thing, Kevin, where I
yeah.
went to get some honey roasted peanuts. And then next thing I knew, a crate showed up at my house, man, of like fucking 4 gallons of honey roasted peanuts. Like, I
Oh,
thought I
yes,
was
yes,
just buying,
yes.
like
Amazing.
1 tub, and I got into like a volume purchase of
Yeah,
like
you
a
were-
flatbed.
You were buying, you're like,
roll-up.
inflation's out of control. This seems like so much.
It was in the shopping cart with a bunch of other stuff. Who's checking that closely, you know. But so I've been like eating honey roasted peanuts by like the fistful for the last like 2 months. Finally cracked through them. I'm just about done. I got like one little tray left. Yeah.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh.
honey roasted
Yeah.
peanuts
I
are
did that
pretty
with
good. I'm
cat
a
food the
fan.
other day. I like was in hysterics at like 1:45 one night because I was finally opening this box that had arrived to my house that I was like, this is such an absurdly large box for this normal sized bag of cat food that I ordered. And then I like opened it and it's like half my height in cat food. And I was just like, this cat is never going hungry ever
Yeah,
again.
your cat was ecstatic. Your
Yeah.
cat, yes. Oh my god.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So I made a discovery this weekend. While I was up at my mountain vacation, Matt and I, of course, we visited the hardware store because that's where you go on vacation. Is to the hardware store, and they have a little candy section.
Trey's nodding, like, yes, of course you do go to the hardware store on
Right, yeah.
vacation.
You go to the hardware
It's
store
like
and you go
the
to the
small
Life
town
is
quaint.
Good store, and that's it. Always have to go to the Life is Good store. That's my favorite store ever.
And you get
But
ice cream.
we got coffee, but ice cream would have been good too. So Zots. Are any of you familiar with Zots?
No.
I think they're a race in this game.
That was the name of a dive bar near campus.
So Zots are a delightful hard candy. But you know the sensation you get when you eat like Pop Rocks? Like fizzy, like in your mouth. So it's a hard candy, suck on it, thin up the walls, crunch it, and it's this like gusher like experience, but it's like carbonation in the center of this candy. And it is a wild experience. I haven't had them since high school, where my friend would bring them in, and they're like in these strips of it. It was delightful.
I have seen these before. It's been a minute. But yeah, these are a thing for sure.
Yep.
Not heard of this before.
Yeah.
Do you have
Sounds
I
good.
It does sound interesting.
I love them.
That's cool.
I had Matt try them for the first time, and he was disgusted.
Yes.
Because he said the mouthfeel was 0 out of 10. So
0 out of 10 is mouthfeel for me. Every time I hear mouthfeel, I'm always just like, no.
Nope,
No.
0 out of 10.
Definitely
I'm voting 0 out of 10 on
Yeah.
that entire phrase and anything associated with it.
Gotta go.
You know, you guys are a very serious couple now, Taylor, because he hates food that you love deeply, and so yeah.
And you're still together.
Yeah. Will, you have any crazy rogue candies you want to throw up on the
Oh
board?
man,
Here
nothing
with
like
us.
that. No. I mean,
Fair enough.
I ate some Twizzlers over the weekend. That's,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, pretty
Twizzlers are
generic
great.
candy. Take it
stuff,
or
though.
leave it.
They're
Um,
elite. I love
Can
a
I
Twizzler.
take a moment and say, as we enter, as we near the month of October,
Mhm.
Twizzlers deeply underrepresented in Halloween candy relative to their quality as a candy.
But
Yeah.
it's because they're
I
so
used to-
large, right? You
I
can't
used to
bring
You know,
get,
you
like-
can get the
a
small
lot.
packs and like
You
the
can't get
Yeah.
the little ones.
On Halloween, I would get the little pull and peels. It was like the
Mhm.
tiny ones.
Yeah,
I
but
have-
hey,
I always
people,
like that.
get some Twizzlers in your candy, please.
I have a little Twizzler PTSD, and I'm sure I've talked about it maybe on Firelight Tales, Taylor, of like, when
maybe.
you guys were young, you do a lot of like riding on your friend's handlebars on the bicycle. Was that a thing in your lives? Yeah. You got to get somewhere. You only got the one bite. You get on those handlebars, right? And I remember being trapped on my friend's older brother's handlebars, and he had a bunch of Twizzlers. Don't ask me. We're kids riding down the street. He's got a bike and Twizzlers will travel, and he just started wailing me on the forearms with those Twizzlers. And I remember like crying. I was in like hysterical
No.
tears, like,
Oh my God.
Oh
stop! And, like, you couldn't get off because you're on the handlebars of this kid's bike. There's no like easy way to like dismount without getting run over
no.
at speed. And so
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I just remember being like trapped, captive on this kid's handlebars, getting wailed with Twizzlers for like a solid
No.
12-minute bike ride, you know.
My gosh.
I do still love them, but I can't eat
Mhm.
them without thinking of a tragic day ever.
Oh
again.
my gosh. I have to ask. I do have to ask that as we're
Do
Troy
you?
said, as we're approaching October, I'm kind of afraid to ask this question because I feel like there have been like death matches over it. But candy corn.
I was gonna say, if you're about to say the words candy corn,
We shouldn't do this, guys.
We shouldn't do this. We're all friends here.
Oh,
Why did you
no.
do this, Taylor?
I had to.
it's my hottest take that it's perfectly fine and not exciting or bad in any particular direction.
Yep.
That is
that's
the
where I've
craziest take.
landed.
Candy corn is nothing.
I mean,
That's where I've landed
I
after
respect
being a
that take.
hardcore candy corn stan. Wow, that was what a
Wow.
phrase.
Um,
I was, but I'm no longer.
I've
Hmm.
noticed.
like
on
I would
Twitter,
never buy it. If it's there, I would eat it.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at,
Mhm.
Melissa. I never thought about it as such like a middling take before, but I think I agree 100%. My hottest take is that I
Yeah.
agree with Melissa's hot take. I've seen Davey from Survivor Millennials Gen X that's been like walking around with the little like dad purse just filled fully with candy corn on Twitter, and it's the funniest thing to me. He just like opens it up, you know, and it's like
Oh my
candy corn,
gosh.
baby.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't
Also-
Chappelle
Yeah.
also have like wild candy corn takes? Is that?
Oh, maybe.
I feel like my
Yeah,
Twitter
Here's
is
my
constantly
wild
abuzz
candy
with
corn
people
take.
I've
talking
heard
candy
that
corn.
before. Yeah.
My wild candy corn take is much like a Reese's peanut butter cup, better in the pumpkin shape than
Oh,
in the
wow.
original shape.
Yes,
Interesting.
agreed.
Candy
I
corn
would
pumpkins
disagree.
all
better than the OG.
all
I would
Reese's in
disagree.
different shapes are better than the
Yeah, the
original.
different shape really brings a whole new flavor palette.
To
It
the
I have no
changes
idea
the
what
chocolate
a
to peanut
pumpkin-
butter ratio.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the ratio.
Yeah.
I have no idea what a pumpkin peanut butter cup is, though. I don't think we have those up here.
It's just
It's shaped
shaped like a
Pumpkin
pumpkin.
shaped.
Okay, but it changes everything.
It does.
It's
Because
it's
of the
do you-
ratio of
Reese's.
chocolate to
the
peanut
chocolate
butter.
to peanut butter. Do you have the Easter egg Reese's
so good.
The Christmas trees.
Christmas
or the Christmas trees? You clearly don't have the
Yes.
footballs, right?
I don't think I have a Christmas tree.
Okay, what does that
Footballs.
mean, Troy?
Well, I'm
What do you
just
mean we
saying.
really don't have the
Clearly.
footballs?
I mean,
We
if
have
you don't
Canadian-
have the
Whoa.
pumpkins, you don't
We
have
have a whole
footballs.
football league up here that is
Okay,
like
No, you don't.
Maybe your
different.
football's kind of
No.
misshapen or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, you don't.
but-
the CFL
Oh my God.
is larger fields. It's got fewer downs. It is a harder sport in general.
And
Melissa,
look, if
I
you
love
open up the
Canadian.
Reese's football-shaped cups in Canada and they're 10% larger, don't be
Mm.
surprised.
They don't
Ah.
have that in Canada. They have curling stones in Canada.
Oh God, I want
Like-
that. I want a
Yeah.
curling stone Reese's
Talk
so
about curling
bad.
while
Stone
Grace is in
Reese's?
here.
Yeah, I mean honestly that does sound really good.
Oh my gosh.
My big Reese's take is that the cups definitely are better than all those other things. All those other shapes are badness, and you people are like heretics talking like this. I don't
I'm
understand.
pretty down with the cup. Yeah, I think I'm
Yeah.
with you, Rich. I don't
I
think
do
need-
love a
I
cup,
love a
but I
peanut
love
butter
the
cup.
shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And,
love
and-
the
but I can only have
Reese's,
one once in a
honestly.
while. Yeah. Also,
Hmm.
I have to say,
Do
and
you?
this is yes, I do. I had to say it. My take about candy corn is that the chocolate candy corn is better than the regular candy.
Go
That's
to
fair.
hell. Go just right now.
I'm already headed
Just
there.
go put yourself in the middle of a Spirit Halloween
Yeah.
store and never come back.
Oh
Good
man.
Lord, what is that trash take?
I'm a big fan of artificial chocolate flavor. Like you give me a candy cane that would like tastes like
Oh,
chocolate, but it's
no.
That's
obviously
disgusting.
not chocolate. I
That's
like, yeah,
disgusting.
I'm a
I'm
trash
50
person.
I'm
Kelly.
I'm 50
Yeah, I
50
try
on the
not
thick
to.
chocolates.
Yeah.
Like some things it's good, some things I'm not a fan. Like
no, it's usually
my hot take is like chocolate chips added to things is like overrated. Like,
Oh
yeah.
wow!
Like I'll
Oh,
take any other
no.
cookie over a chocolate chip
Where?
cookie.
Okay, so chocolate chip cookies are my favorite, but
Yeah.
I will sit there and just eat chocolate chips. 100%.
I
how
cannot
do you
leave
think
this
they
call
got
for
through-
dramatic effect or it will mess up Rich's views here.
Yeah.
But
But also, Will's wife is calling for him to get kicked off the stream
Getting
right now.
heated. Taylor, chocolate
He
chips definitely
very
helped
much
me
knows
get
about
through
this.
the pounds of peanuts. I was just like, it was a
Yeah, just
revelation
tossing it.
as I got into the third tub.
Yes.
I was like, holy cow, I got a bag of chocolate chips here.
Mix
It
them up,
was like
baby.
trail mix, but
Yes.
just peanuts and chocolates.
That sounds like heaven.
A good combo.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
worked out.
Incredible.
Jess is getting worked up in the chat. We should
Chocolate chip
like-
cookies are
I-
like a bottom tier cookie, though.
Oh my! Can we please just no? We
Come
don't have
on,
time.
This
we
is
don't have
insane.
time.
We
You
need to-
haven't.
we need-
Have
yeah,
you
we
not
need to
had a
get-
what
good
I'm
chocolate
saying.
chip cookie?
I make good chocolate chip
I mean,
cookies, but I still make better other
yeah.
cookies.
Chocolate
Like
chip
so
is
many
like,
other cookies
No,
I would rather
it
have.
is. It is. Look, it's the hero cookie.
Okay, well, Jess,
you
I
can-
am not American, so like
you can
that's not the
get
argument.
chocolate chip.
It's gonna sway me to your side that it's America's
you're-
cookie. That makes me
Yeah.
like it less.
I mean,
Not
yeah,
a good
honestly, not a
argument.
good
Yeah,
argument on that
No,
one.
don't. don't say
That's like
that.
apple pie. It's the best pie because it's American. Is it? Like,
It's not the
there's
best
so many
pie.
It's
reasons.
not the
Yeah,
best
it's not.
pie.
No.
Do we need to have a
One of
pie
those.
draft? We could have a pie draft. No, we're not
Should we
doing
do
that.
that right now?
We gotta
Cancel
wait
love
till
pie.
March. Okay,
Pie
we
bracket.
gotta wait till March if we're doing a
Pumpkin
pie
pie.
draft. and get the March
Guys,
Madness bracket.
we need to think deeper. There's a bake shop like in this game. We just need to do it in game, and then it'll be.
Yeah,
we'll
we
be
just
fine.
bought
What
it out.
game?
I don't think the bake shop exists.
pie
anymore,
draft.
Taylor. We
Yeah.
bought everything they
Are
had.
we
Pie
not
draft
just
in
here to talk
Dragonfly.
about food? I thought that was what we were doing tonight.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. that's
Fooled
true.
you, Will. You're here for the special holiday cook-off food special.
Yeah, I'm really glad they put all
Food
that time into making a
stays.
character. We're never gonna meet them.
Yeah.
So, Dungeons and Dragons. That's what you do while you're eating food, is play some Dungeons and Dragons or something like that.
Except when you're on a stream and then it does bad things to audio. And then you
Oh
just
yeah, that's true. That is true.
order
I try not
takeout
to
in the
do
last
too
10
much.
minutes of the stream so that it shows up at your apartment.
It's
after.
a strong move. It's a solid move. I respect it. I wish there was takeout anywhere that would bring me food. Jessica, get it together. I feel like that message was explicitly for me, Kevin. I'm gonna try to get it together.
I think it's clearly for Jess, for sure.
See, all signs would indicate that, but you know. So, it's been a couple of weeks. I had a bad back injury. I had to pull out at the last second last week. My neck is still all left up. But we're going to play the D&D tonight. The crew of you have landed on a new planet. Some things happened. Troy wasn't here. We should catch him up. But are there any questions, any like housekeeping, anything that we just need to go over before we jump into it?
How many people did Naya sleep?
Yeah, and how much gold
Great
did we
question.
spend on baked goods?
That's also a good question.
Good question. You
It's
know,
an
the important
excellent
question: sex and money. The thing
Yeah.
that really.
Yep. Yep.
Sex and bacon.
Top of the list.
Big entertainment. Yeah, we'll save the violence for later. So when last we left our heroes, the crew of the Dragonfly, having leapt through a portal outside of the world of Lon, the halfling homeworld, found yourself transported halfway across the galaxy, closing in on the planet of Rune. Doc identified the bow that was found on the fleeting asteroid that lured in Naya and the Professor and Lux during your transit. The bow revealing itself, Kadras, vengeance, to be intelligent to some degree, animated, dangerous. It drew Lux's very life essence from her body to engage its magic. You were stopped by the Corsairs, Border Patrol, and peacekeepers of the great capital city of Sirion and the interplanetary airspace around the world of Rune. Some lizard folk approaching you on a lamprey ship guided you in to the largest of the three moons, Orthos, where you parked at a lunar station and filled out a series of paperwork with the lizard folk corsair Susaran. And so Sularan sending you on your way, following the guide beacons down towards the surface world itself. You came to see Sirion, the great capital city of this jungle planet, built like a bowl, just slightly off center on the top of the tree's canopies. You were greeted by the Corsair welcomer, Denise, who provided you with paperwork regarding the specifics of the city, talking to you about the various districts, giving you some information about where you can get a good spun sugar bat wing at Cateros's Confections, of course, and where one might find an all-night dance club, the Tangled Limb. in the meats section of the town. The group of you made your way, having taken a cart that was conveyed to you by Marwhistle Marwentle and his right-hand man, Dendry, loaded up into a cart for 3 gold pieces, far more than Reya was comfortable paying, and transported yourself across the city. Naya immediately abandoned all of their companions to dance the night away, while Doc made for Caterus's confections and bought 6 of every confection in the shop. And so, as the camera opens tonight, I think it sweeps over the vast jungled world that is Rune. We see clusters of birds flying up out of the treetops as the camera kind of races over the top of them. A blue sky, white fluffy clouds in the top of our screen as we come looming up over this kind of semicircular bowl-shaped city perched on these high limbs above the trees. Tall buildings of glass and steel, all manner of colors and people filling the streets. And as we sweep over what is the section known as the Starport, we see the familiar sight of the Dragonfly itself, a red and gold ship shaped like the insect of its name, perched in an altogether too large docking station alongside these massive kind of freighter ships off on either side. And I think that Professor, having left you to your own devices on the ship with Ben and Jake and the sometimes creepy shadow orb known as the Accumulating Shadow Chronicle, or Ask, I think that the camera like kind of zooms down in through one of the portholes. And where do we find the Professor as we come to rest on him?
I think you find the Professor having recently awoken from a nap, I think sitting at his desk in this small room that he has alone. And he is just cracking open a few books and writing in a few notes. And I think just kind of staring through the porthole a bit.
And I think that as he's staring through the porthole, he would note a lizard person with this extraordinarily kind of long neck. She wears these kind of like flowing robes, and her neck is like serpentine almost in its length, like twice as long almost as her head, a very narrow, pointed sort of a face. And she's speaking with like what look to be like a few humans down off the like edge of the dock where you are. You see another ship has landed, and there are a series of figures disembarking from it that she like gestures a wave towards, and then she turns like looking to the ship and begins walking towards the Dragonfly, Professor, where you like lose sight of her as she steps up under the ship, but I think you hear like a knocking reverberate through the ship as she knocks on one of the legs down below.
Is anyone going to get that?
I was going to ask you. Jake's sleeping.
Yes, Ben, I shall join you in order to determine who that is. One moment, please. And I think like Reginald will like fold back over his silk robe and kind of like tie it up tightly, and then kind of like slide some slippers on and like scurry off with Ben toward the opening.
Okay, yeah, and Ben like following you towards the back. I think like he hits the like lever of the ramp, like lowering itself down as you see this long kind of sinuous, light-scaled lizard folk standing outside in the back. Her kind of robes like blowing in the breeze a little bit, and she's like, "Oh, hi! You must be Reginald. Hi."
Yes,
I'm Denise. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to bother you.
Denise.
Yeah. I'm with the Corsairs. I'm one of the official greeters. I get to meet all of your friends. I just wanted to let you know my shift is ending, and I just wanted to make sure that you knew where your associates were, because I know you were taking a little bit of a napsy.
Yes. I'm terribly sorry. Your shift is ending. Are we meant to give you some sort of tip or payment or
Oh,
something?
no, no,
I
no. I
apologize,
don't
my friend.
handle any of the finances. I'm just the messenger and your friendly, helpful neighborhood corsair. All of the financial arrangements will be remedied when you guys are ready to go. I just wanted to make sure you didn't have any questions or you need to know where your friends are or anything like that.
Well, I have several questions, but probably far more than you wish to answer at this point.
No, I mean,
your
it's my
shift-
job, really. I'm here to answer questions for you.
What is
new
the most
planet-
dangerous thing on this planet?
Oh, my word. Well, probably they wouldn't love it if I admitted this
You
in
can
front
tell
of
me,
them.
of course. Ben is quite trustworthy with secrets.
That's absolutely right. I'm very trustworthy. I mean, I don't even know half the secrets that I've got because I'm so old I forgot them all.
Jesus, that's a good technique. I'm not really like a scientist or anything like that, but there's a lot of very dangerous animals out there. I know that, the ground crews and the runners talk about the giants down beneath the canopy all the time, and all manner of the strange kind of tentacled things. I don't even know. I've heard so many names, but honestly, Professor, the most dangerous animal on Rune are the people.
Yes. I see that. Well, perhaps the most dangerous upon this planet has changed since our arrival.
Oh, I love that. Look at you and your confidence. That's fantastic.
Yes. Well, yes, I should very much like to know where our friends are. It will take me a moment to get prepared and adequately dressed, but I would imagine it's time now to join them.
Of course, yeah, no problem. Here's a little informational pamphlet. I know your friend Reya was very excited we had pamphlets. This is a little bit about our city in case you just need to know anything. They are over at the meets. They're staying at one of the nicest hostels over there. I know your friend Naya was looking for the dance hall, the Twisted Inn. I sent them to the
Is that
baker
all?
as well. Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Gosh, it's really nice to meet you.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for your assistance. And I think like Reginald, like instinctively, it's like almost like reaching into his pockets, like looking for some coin or something. Just like something about this interaction, and he's got nothing on him because he's wearing a silk robe. And I think he'll just say, enjoy the rest of your day. I will follow the map and the information given. Thank you very much, Denise.
Yeah, that's me, Denise. I have to say, it's really nice meeting you.
Likewise, I'm sure.
Okay, bye. Bye, Ben.
Ben's like, I'll see you later.
As you watch it, she like turns walking away, making her way. She kind of like merges with this larger group of lizard folk that are like leading down off of like the docks into the city itself.
I think like as he's going back in, Reg would just like turn to Ben and be like, I imagine she would be someone worth spending. You could spend a good weekend out in the wilderness with her and quite enjoy yourself.
She seems pretty friendly to me. I'm not sure, but Doc was really excited about introducing the two of us. I think she was hoping that some sparks would fly, but it's a little too late in the game for me when it comes to that sort of an angle. But she's very, very pleasant.
It's never too late.
You know, I should remember that.
Yes. Well, if it's the last thing I ever say to you, then perhaps it would be worth it.
Well, that's pretty morbid. It's almost like somebody's watching us, waiting to get rid of us. That would be terrible.
Well, if someone were watching us, they'd say, hurry up and get with the rest of the group at this point. So, I shall do such.
I think as the seed fades to black, it opens again, following this group of lizard folk making their way down off of the docks. We see Denise amongst them. She's like talking with another like shorter, kind of broader headed lizard folk that's like standing next to her. A lot of them, some of them are very like kind of short with these like wide, like hefty shoulders, short necks, wide heads. Many of them are long and almost like stretched out. And so as they begin to like disperse and break into different angles, I think the camera like lingers on one. His scale's a little bit orangey. He's wearing a brown vest that has a sigil right above the heart, a tree with these 3 moons behind it, like the 3 moons of Rune, the sigil of the Corsairs, a familiar face as the camera kind of pans around and we follow him like making his way apart from his group down towards an alley. And I think that as he's walking, he stops dead in his tracks and we hear him call, "My word, is that you, my friend? It's been quite a time. I didn't expect to find you so quickly." As he like peers down the alley in front of him. And Will, what does he see coming towards him?
Coming towards him, we would see a pretty slender but broad-shouldered, green-scaled lizard folk. He's got these like dark black pants and for his like top, no like actual shirt. He has this like red bandana thing like around his neck and red bands wrapped around his arms, and this big thing like strapped like up on his shoulder. Maybe it's some kind of armor, maybe it's something else. But and he's got a couple like, they're like daggers, but they're more like giant fangs.
Yes.
Like, they're strapped to his side. It's like, hey, you know, I'm a bit quicker than you might assume.
Yes, you really are a fast bastard. Well, it's actually excellent that I'm running into you. I wanted to put word out to see if you were around in the city. I know you're often in and out, making your runs down to the surface, but you were asking last time I saw you about a temple, weren't you?
Yeah. You got anything?
Indeed, I do.
And I think he turns, like gesturing back down the alley. We can see the starport, the various ships that are there. And I think that Susaran gestures back towards the port, his finger like kind of like pointing right towards the small red and gold ship. Like, do you see that little thing there? It's quite a novelty. I was struck by it. The boys and we just, well, cracked us right up to see something so petite and unique like that out there. It's an unusual ship.
Can't say I've seen anything like that before.
Right, well,
Has anyone checked it out yet?
we screened them when they came in. They just landed last night. I'm off duty. I'm down in the city for the next few weeks here. But I wanted to put word out for you because they were asking about a temple. They're some sort of adventurers, explorers, historians, archaeologists, I'm not sure, but not big traders. But they were asking about the ruins of a place called Halcinod, and I knew that it stuck in my craw for some reason. And then it occurred to me when I got up this morning, I was on my way back down. That's where you've been looking for, isn't it?
Yeah. Does this group seem brave enough, dumb enough to want to do it?
Brave and dumb in both parts, perhaps. They've, I don't think, ever been anywhere as well established and regal as Sirion, but they were rather sharp, bold, certainly armed to the teeth. They looked like a dangerous sort, but they filled out the paperwork and were rather agreeable. Very concerned
Hey, if
about
they're down.
pressure.
All right. I mean, if they're willing to do it, I've been looking for a team.
Well, I just heard from Denise, but some of their crew are still on board. I think that they're going to meet with the others. Half of them have taken up an inn somewhere down at the meets, so I don't know if you want to maybe hang around, keep an eye, go knock for yourself. You're more than welcome. I need a drink, though, good man. I've been
trapped on that moon eating nothing but peanuts for a whole month.
Peanuts on the moon?
Yes, I know, it's ridiculous. I don't know why they ship so many of the peanuts up there to us, what I would give for some salted fish.
Aye. In another life, maybe I'd be into that. I'll give it a knock.
Excellent. Hey, it's good to see you, my friend. It's been too long. Once you're done with this lot, well, come and find me. I'll be around for the next few 10 days.
Yeah. You know I'm around.
Indeed. You're a good one, Trazu. I should have pushed harder for you to join the Corsairs, but you're a good one.
Yeah. Not the life for me, anyway.
Fair enough. And I think he kind of slaps you on the shoulder, now about that drink, as he turns, kind of striding down away, and the shot just sort of lingers on you, Trazu, as you stand in the alley, looking back towards the Dragonfly. What do you want to do?
The Dragonfly is right there.
Yeah, it's probably a couple 100 feet away. Imagine up some kind of metal stairs on a tier above you, right? 15 or 20 feet above you, maybe a couple 100 feet away along this line of ships and dock.
All right, I guess I'll just try and get up to it without being seen by too many people. Just knock, see if anyone's home.
Okay, excellent. And I think as you're doom, 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 Reginald, you've probably just gotten all your stuff together as you hear this second knock. And I think Ben's you think that's Denise?
Is anyone going to get that? Yeah.
I could get it. I'll be honest with you, Professor. I didn't think I was supposed to just be opening the door for strangers by myself.
No. Oh, of course not. I'm prepared. I shall come escort you to the door and provide whatever
nice.
protection is necessary.
Is that a new suit?
It does look a bit different. It's thank you for noticing.
I think the ramp starts lowering, and Trazu, you see, standing before you, Professor. You're welcome to describe yourself.
Yeah, I think you see a tall 7.5 foot tall hippopotamus person with a kind of small reading glasses at the end of his long snout. He is wearing, unlike a tweed suit or jacket, as you may have often seen, well, you wouldn't have, but as many people have often seen him, he's wearing more of a khaki jungle type jacket, but still with a deep red bow tie upon it that is unmistakably immovable in a way, and then he's wearing khakis that kind of flare out at the knees a little bit, and then boots. He's kind of in safari mode, even though it's the jungle.
Tell me he has a pith hat on.
Yeah.
He's got it under his arm right now.
It's underneath his arm along with the Astromancy Archive.
Oh my god.
And standing next to him is this tiny little red-scaled kobold who's got this disproportionately small bat wings kind of fluttering up behind his shoulders. Well, he's got this little blue vest on, and much the opposite of the professor, he also has an even tinier set of spectacles rather than on the end of his nose, right jammed up against his eyes at the top of his nose. He's a little bit hunched over with this messenger bag over his shoulder, and he's like,
"Hi. I'm Ben."
Trezu.
Come again, please.
Trezu. Who are you?
Trezu.
Yeah.
Trezu. Am I saying that correctly?
Trezu.
I like the way you
said
say
it wrong.
No, that was good.
can
That was
keep
good.
saying
I
it like
like it.
that.
I like the enthusiasm. It's Trazzu for note takers out there.
You use the common alphabet. How wonderful. I am Professor Reginald Frybottom, a member of the crew of the Dragonfly. This here is, well, you can introduce yourself however you see fit. Ben.
Oh, yeah, that's me. I'm the crew of the Dragonfly. They call me Old Ben, but that wasn't always my name, because they tell me that in space, you can have any name you want.
Yes. And we are in space, though we are upon a planet. Yes. Trezu.
That right there, this is our crack crew member, Jake.
And he just points, and there's like a massive turtle shell on the floor in the back of the cargo bay. It's not moving. Like,
I promise you, he's alive, and he's very dangerous.
I see. So you were the brave crew I've heard about?
Well, I'm not quite certain exactly what you've heard, but we are some part of an esteemed. Well, yes, we are. Well, what is it that brings you here, Trezu?
I hear you're looking for a temple.
Do you now? Where exactly did you hear that we are searching a temple?
Word gets around. My line of work.
And what would that be?
Whatever I need it to be at the moment.
That's kind of like us, Professor.
It is exactly not at all like us.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
I see you're dressed for the wilderness.
Well, should I not be?
No. It's hairy down there for sure. So you should be prepared.
Yes. Well, you are dressed for something.
Good time. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You should meet one of our crewmates. I think they would like you. Speaking of which, I have just been told of the location of the rest of our crew. If you perhaps would like to join us upon this walk, we could learn more about this temple.
All right.
Right.
Let's go.
Ben, are you joining us or shall you be staying with the ship?
No, I think I'd best stay here and protect the ship. I mean, Jake
I like this guy. He can't come? He's not part of the crew?
I will be... he is the crew, in many ways.
Oh.
I apologize, Ben. I
think at this point, Will, as Straussy is standing there, floating into the cargo bay, comes this orb. It's about the size of a grapefruit, kind of purplish, this clear vertical slitted pupil to it as it comes, like floating into the room, like, user query. And then it stops, like, is this a new member of the crew?
No, it
Maybe,
is not.
yeah.
What?
No?
No.
That all remains to be seen. And also, I told you not to come out of the cockpit. Since when do you stop listening to me?
What is this?
An information codices, and I have never obeyed orders from the kobolds. Ben, I will withdraw now.
Yes, thank you. Ben, you have determined it is best for you to remain on the ship, and though it would make me quite delighted to have you join us, I think in this rare instance, you perhaps have assessed correctly that is what's best. With Jake being asleep as he is, and Reya, who knows, it's best to leave someone here.
Be a responsible adult.
I think he says to you, Straussy.
All right. I'll keep an eye on everything and make sure that nobody enters and nobody leaves. You hear that?
Yes, I think they heard that. Good.
Can't take that flying little orb?
No, you don't want that.
No, I think it would take you, to put it clearly. Trezu? Wait, it was Trezu, yes?
Yeah.
Good. I apologize. I'm not the best with names. Good. We shoot away and head in I think this direction. And he kind of like pulls out the map and like,
Do you know the name of the place? I know my way around here.
oh,
I do live here.
I live here.
I feel like it had something to do with meat, but I'm not quite certain.
There's a lot of places for meat here. A lot of different kinds of meat. What meat are you looking for? I mean, you give me a few days, I can get you anything.
Oh, I know. How do I put this delicately? You appear to be someone who enjoys merriment and what one might call a good time. Yes.
Who doesn't enjoy a good time?
Yes, it is quite taste at times. We have a companion of ours who very much enjoys. I can't find any other way than to say spreading their seed. Where would one go to have a good time?
Would I know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places in the Meats. The Meats is like a big district of the city, and it's quite a big city, right? But you know a couple of like notable dance halls, and generally somebody that you think probably immediately of the Tangled Limb, and are like, oh yeah, that's like the 24-hour dance club. Yep.
All right. Well, it's this way.
Good. I imagine close enough. We'll just hear the unsa and simply follow the beat.
And I think it's on that note that as like the scene fades to black, following the pair of them with Ben like standing in the silhouette of the closing thing, like,
All right, we need to have a real conversation.
with the orb in front of him, we just hear and the scene begins to open to the sight of Kevin, Naya. What do we see as we pick up, like, I don't know, 16, 18 hours after they walked into this club?
16, 18 hours? Yeah, after many hours probably dancing and partaking in whatever sort of drink or anything else offered. I feel like they probably, that did find a back room somewhere. So they're probably waking up at this point, and just like stretching, just like, oof. Oh, that was a good night. Don't worry about it. You can go back to sleep. You too. As they make their way over to a storage unit and opens it up, and picks up Ivory. And it's just like, sorry to leave you in there again. Still feels a little bit weird. Maybe, one day, but still just a little too odd.
A mighty dragon slayer has powerful needs that must be met. I would not seek to judge, ever.
See, now that's the attitude I think more people should have. I appreciate that. This is why I like you, Einrave, as they're slipping on their armor.
I like you because you have allowed me to taste the blood of dragons again, but I might have liked you other than that. I suppose we'll never know, but it doesn't much matter because I am quite thoroughly enamored as things stand. So,
I do tend to have that effect on people. As
that's
they're
an understatement.
making their way to the door out of the back room and just turn back and just be like, Spoon, thank you for an amazing time. Don't remember your name, but also amazing time. Hope to do this again some other time in the future. And then they'll exit out into the club.
Like, we just see like a hand raised from like the pile up as like Naya makes their way out onto the street, a bustling, busy metropolitan street. The buildings around you, some made of wood, some made of steel, very notably like not a lot of stone or brick or anything like this. There's many of these like large wooden kind of like houses that are like built out buildings with like additions on top of additions next to extensions, and then these other like large kind of sprawling like metal towered and glass. As you make your way out to the street, like turning, looking left, looking right, like furrowing your brow a bit as you try to recall where you left your companions. The scene, I think, will fade and open on Dox and Luck. Where will you find the pair of you?
So I think it's a very kind of similar scene as Dox and Lux wake up, but instead of the carnal discards, there's just wrappers of baked goods surrounding them, in just like sheer evidence of like a night of pure gluttony. And
powdered sugar.
Their faces are
chocolate.
covered in powdered sugar
Yeah.
and chocolate, and it's just like, their bellies are all like swollen from like, too much sugar. I think there's like actively like acne breaking out over their faces. Every sign of just like a night of chocolatey goodness.
I think on the far side of the room, you guys see Reya in like this like large like plush chair, her feet like sprawled out in front of her, the like trident of fish commands like leaning up against the wall, and her hand just like holding this like half-eaten cupcake, right? That I think like as the pair of you are blinking, like assessing the damage of the room, the cupcake just like rolls from Reya's fingers and like hits the ground with this like puff of confection sugar. As she's like, yeah.
Are you gonna finish that?
Reya, you can't drop it on the floor. It's gold.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Oh.
I don't feel so great. I think I need to pray to Clancy for lesser Pepto-Bismol.
I think Doc like rolls over and like army crawls over and then just like stuffs it in her face.
Lux like looks over at like the pillow next to her, like picks it up, and there's like a cinnamon bun under it. She, like takes it and starts like ripping it apart and eating.
Is Waffle with the torch like eating up?
I think
Goulang thing.
Waffle has just been having endless s'mores, right?
Oh,
Just, like toasting the marshmallow.
All this
And then
marshmallow
popping
and chocolate on the metal. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like-
and I think Doc is like, I didn't even give you a stomach. I don't understand where that's going, but okay.
It's an incinerator.
Yeah.
It's like I can't stop eating it. It's all just so good. Oh my gosh. We should give
Yeah.
him all of our gold and take the whole thing and him with us on the ship.
Oh,
He can
man.
just make us stuff all the time.
Yeah, we should kidnap him and force him to make us baked goods at all times.
Him and Denise.
Yeah. I mean, I know we're like historically very anti-oppression, but oppression in the name of baked goods. Might be worth it.
That's tempting. Oh god. I gotta like stand up. I can't. I
I
gotta
don't even
move.
remember. I think at one point, did we just like bathe in sugar? I don't even know. It's all a blur.
I feel grainy. I will say.
You kind of look green.
I feel grainy.
Yeah.
There's gotta be like some sort of washroom in this place.
Mhm.
Where are we? Where did we end up?
You're staying at an inn. I don't think that you ever got the name of it, but it's Onyx Grove is the name of the place.
Okay.
I think Doc goes and like just like wipes like chocolate from behind her ear, and then like licks it off her finger. And she's, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we need a shower.
Yeah,
F?
no, they have showers here. We should get one of those on the ship. I think Reya says. It's like I think that the camera like pulls out of the building out to like the street side outside, as we see the pair of Professor and Trazu. The pair of you have like walked through the city. Professor, Sirion is a sprawling metropolitan place. I don't know how much that reminds you of home or how unique that feels to you, but there are all manner of vendors and street food, various like races from Aarakocra and halflings and dwarves to lizard folk and dragonborn and tabaxi. There are every type of person you can imagine in groups and individuals, people calling, music playing, an array of like delectable scents as food like kind of wafts on the wind, mixed with the industrial smells of wood processing and tanneries and Spelljammer fuel being manufactured coming from the grind. Yeah.
Trazu, you have brought me into the belly of the beast, it seems.
I mean, this is where you wanted to go, right? You wanted to meet with your allies.
Yes. Now, simply to find them. We could follow the music, of course. I think that's a pretty good chance.
Is this still like nighttime, or are we at like morning now?
Great question. Well, thank you for setting the reality around us. It is probably like mid-morning here after the crew have just kind of disembarked coming back to Corsair. So yeah, like mid-morning, somewhere in that 10 o'clock range.
Yeah. I think Trazu, he has this like red like sash around his neck that it doubles as a hood. He would have like pulled it like up over his head. He's like, I mean, if they were in an inn, there's one right here.
Are there many inns in the city? I would imagine so.
Yeah, but you brought me here.
Well, good. I think Reg will like just kind of like stare at this end and try and make an assessment as to whether this is where his party would be.
Excellent. And so, Reg, as you're like staring at the end, like looking at the sign, it's the smooth, like black stone that says Onyx Grove. Naya, you're like kind of haphazardly making your way down the street, like, yeah, this feels right. This feels but oh, hey, it's the professor and a lizard person.
Yeah, I think Naya would be walking and in the middle of a conversation with Iron Reeve and just being like, no, see, it wasn't a city on top of a tree. It was a city inside of a tree. It's very different, but this one's much, much bigger. It's a whole other... Oh, I know them. Look at that. Found our way. Remind me to continue the story later. It's where I got this armor. It's pretty fascinating.
It is noble armor as well, Slayer. Well met, companions.
Hello, morning, I think.
Was that the sword talking?
Oh, yes, this is... Hello, you're shirtless lizard gentleman.
All right. This is Trazu. Please attempt to keep your sword in its scabbard, friend.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say keep your shirt on.
You I like. We'll see how the day takes us, I suppose, then. I'm Naya. Nice to meet you, Trazu. This is my sword, Iron Reeve.
Well met.
That's a good-looking sword. You looking to sell?
Oh, no. But if you like this sword, no.
Oh my god!
I'm
Asking myself. No. This sword is extremely handy. It helps me kill a lot of dragons. I'd prefer not to part with this one.
Fair enough.
Well, it appears that the scent of regrettable life choices has brought us together, now simply to follow it to the others.
Yeah, it really permeates off you, doesn't it? Anyway, is this where the rest of them seem to be?
I don't know.
Yes, I made a note before you wandered off for the dancing.
Oh,
Hmm.
you
Must have
wandered off
forgotten.
from the others. You left them
Well,
alone.
more tuck and roll. They were going to a bake shop. I was looking to indulge in some other delights.
Oh, there's some great bakeries around here.
I do imagine that, like, in one of the windows, there's like a handprint with like white, like powdered sugar around it.
I think I know where. I think we're in the right place. Trazu here was telling me about a
Oh, yeah, the temple.
a hidden temple.
Yeah.
Ooh, a hidden
Yes.
temple. That sounds extremely
Yes.
interesting.
There's some sort of legend that we are meant to follow and go in. And anyway, we should talk about it inside with the others. That is, assuming that they're not dead, having been left alone by their companion who has followed their own path in order to get their desires met. Okay, yes, let's go inside.
Oh, Reggie. You've traveled with those two longer than I have. They could handle themselves way better than I could.
Yes, I suppose so.
And so with that, the three of you, the door opening, you make your way into like the common room of the Onyx Garden, the Onyx Grove rather. As you come in, you see there's all this like greenery filled in the room, many windows here on the first floor, wooden. There's like the smell of, you hear like sizzling of cooking coming from the back, the smell of like fresh food and like kind of strong alcohol, wine and ale, that like cutting, like scent in the air. And I think that, Doc and Lux, after having been able to like utilize the washroom, Reya falling back to her quarters, like, I don't know, I need a rest. The group of you, the pair of you make your way down to like the common room where, as you're just kind of coming in, maybe looking for some milk to wash down all these confectioners, you see this group kind of like awkwardly coming in of like Naya, the professor in his jungle outfit, along with this shirtless lizard folk with this kind of red hood up over his head and these two kind of fang-like blades at his belt. The three of them coming in just as the pair of you come down the stairs, freshly clean.
See, they're fine.
Yeah, I think Lux is kind of running down the stairs a little bit, and she like sees everybody like, oh hey you guys, and then like takes a step and does the thing where you like step on the edge and your foot like just completely slips. And like she like bounces down the stairs like, oh I had chocolate on my foot.
I think Doc sends up a wave and then immediately pukes in a potted plant.
And I think Reginald just like slowly turns to Naya. Just like looks.
Okay,
fine
I
today.
take it back. Naya's gonna try and help up Lux.
Oh, thanks. Yep. Oh,
I mean, you should see Reya. We're doing pretty good compared to her. She can't even get it.
we're fine.
The professor prestidigitates some of the vomit away from Doc.
Thank you.
So this is the brave crew.
We're the bravest crew ever. Who's asking?
I'm Tarazu.
Hang on. Sorry, I just wanted to look something up. Naya goes over, and when they helped Lux up, spends 5 points of lay on hands to cure disease. And as we know, alcohol is a disease. But they are on like a sugar rush, so I'm trying to cure them of their essentially hangover.
You're the poison of the sugar hangover.
Yeah.
It's like Naya pulls you up, Lux. You feel this like cleansing like wave pass through you. The roiling, churning sensations in your stomach settle. It's like your feet just touch the ground.
Whoa. What did
All
you
better
just
then, huh?
do? Oh my gosh, I feel brand new.
Me?
Wait a
Nothing.
minute. I'll be right back. I think Lux runs back up the stairs.
Oh,
Find
no.
whatever leftover pastries.
I believe that's what they refer to as enablement. Doc, are you okay? You appear in one piece.
I'm fine. We didn't save you any. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
We were going to-
I'm not so much into the sweets. It is quite all right.
Excuse me, miss? Ma'am?
You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
didn't
No,
get-
ma'am. I don't know who this ma'am is.
Sorry. I'm
sorry, there is this like human woman that's over behind the like counter, and she's kind of like just come back out from the kitchen. She's got this apron on, her hair kind of gray, frazzled all over the place, and she's like, the lot of you did get a delivery. Kideros came through this morning. He said that the group of you're the Dragonfly crew, right?
Darn tootin'.
And I think that she just like gestures, and you see one of the tables in the common room is like heaping with boxes, with like these pinkish boxes with little string around it. She's like, he said that you would put an order in, that you wanted more to be delivered again today. So that's all yours. And like the whole chair, like the whole table is like heaving, right? There's got to be 20 or 30 boxes on it. And then each of like the 4 chairs around it has boxes like stacked up in them, kind of like awkwardly. Yeah.
I think Doc like pulls out the sending stone and just looks at it and like taps it for a second. It's like, did we drunk order more pastry?
And Lux like bounds down the stairs and like is holding like a little piece of one of the bats. It's like, I found one. We did. Oh, Doc. Wait. Naya, can you do that thing to Doc? Doc, oh my gosh. I could eat all of them.
Naya's gonna lay their hand on Doc's shoulder and cure
gosh.
their hangover.
Okay, Doc, you get the poison cured.
It's gonna be great for when we need help later, by the way.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
that was a rush. I can't
This is a
believe I'm
lot
gonna say
of-
this.
Pastries.
Yeah. Sorry, do you want some? You should eat it now, because if you...
You guys
Yeah.
have to try the bats.
All you have to
Just
say
one.
to me, Naya's gonna go over and try one of each of the different pastries, but in their own special lunatic way. They would take one bite of each and then just go over and over again. So they're going one by one, piece by piece.
It's incredible.
Careful. That is how
Ray.
we got started, and then, yeah. Then you wake up the next morning with chocolate behind your ear.
Oh, this is fantastic. I'm so famished. Did I eat anything? I don't even know. But
I
this
do
is
not
great.
want to know the answer to that question. I simply want to state so that we are all aware that our new companion here, Trazu, has information that would lead us to do something other than indulge in our various vices. If you'd be so bold as to repeat what you said to me on the walk here.
Oh yeah, gee, sorry. Trazu?
Yeah, we're real rude. Do you want some pastry?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I love the pastries.
Great. Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's
Sorry.
here. I
Let's
think
take
Lux
a
like
seat and like
move
not-
some of the boxes.
Yeah.
But does this temple close at a certain hour or anything?
Temple.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Reggie, why didn't you
It's
say something
kinda
about a temple
fair.
earlier? We would have not...
Temple.
Well, that was what I was attempting to state. Was that
Yeah. Weren't you guys?
why am I all of the sudden the one?
I
who
was
is-
told you guys were looking for a temple,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, something like how
I've been looking for a team to help me go in there because it's kind of an ordeal.
Oh
Bigger
gee.
than one
It's
person.
your lucky day. We're the best crew you're gonna find for this kind of thing.
And you provide pastries. Like I couldn't have found a better team.
This is the
I'm
best.
just gonna start stuffing my face with a couple of them.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll be right back. 30 seconds. You guys just keep talking. I'll be right.
we
will say,
really
like-
won't have a problem with that.
What's in it for us if we help you with this
I mean,
temple?
Oh, we're looking for a temple, Doc.
Shut up, Lux.
Oh, fair enough.
I heard you were already looking for it. That's what my information was.
I mean, it seems like you got some piss poor information. We just came here to indulge in, all the sweetness that this planet has to offer.
Yeah. Prune. It's good
Yes.
stuff.
To be
Hey,
fair,
just
I
say
did
ruin.
indulge in a bit, and I'm kind of getting bored now of that. So I'd go to a temple.
Naya, Okay, fine. Yes, clearly we want to come to the temple.
I know.
Sorry,
I
Doc.
know.
It's early.
I
How early
wanted
is
to
it?
wait until others were here in order to ask these important questions. So let me just briefly ask them of you in front of the others, such that we could get a fair assessment of your ness. Who are you again, and what is it that you do here?
Well, I'm Trazu.
That much has been
I'm
made
what they
clear.
would call a runner for my day job.
That's fun.
Uh,
I like your little strappies.
Long
Thanks.
distance or
I like your
short?
lack of shirt.
Me too. Long distance, sure. I mean, down on the surface, it's a bit rougher than up here. Like, there's a reason people live and stay up here above the surface of the planet. So,
Yes.
Makes
people like me who know how to do it and get down there and get back up, we get the supplies for everything we need up here.
Oh, you go down upon the surface. And-
That makes sense in what a runner is, yeah.
You gotta get down and get up quick.
Mhm.
And how is it exactly that you know the location of this temple?
I mean, out on a run one day, I saw something a bit crumbled in the jungle. Took a little peek. Looked like a little much for myself, so I've been asking around about it ever since. And just so happens, the second I get some information, I hear there's some people looking for a temple too.
Sounds reasonable.
Oh, I just remembered. We're supposed to ask a question to new people that we've met.
Yes, I was just thinking the same thing, Reggie.
Oh. See?
What's your
Like-
name? You can have any name you want.
No,
Are
Oh,
you being oppressed?
The little
No,
bad guy told
no.
me that.
no.
Lux,
Oh,
you.
I'm not
fool.
being. I mean, I'm not really being oppressed, other than by the crushing sense of capitalism on this planet.
Fair. Yeah, it seems pretty heavy. Yeah, here.
Yes, he's
But
a
Yeah.
big,
I have a
evil
more important
oppressor.
question for you.
Doc looks guiltily at all of the purchasing they have done of pastry laws.
You gotta get by somehow. Bakers, they do good work.
Are you a
Look.
dragon?
I'm not a dragon.
If you're
You
a
sure?
dragon, you must tell us.
You have to tell us it's a rule.
You also
Promise?
look like a
Fine,
little
I'm a
bit
dragon.
I
I was lying. I'm not a dragon.
I can confirm that. He is not a dragon.
Wait, you
Wait.
can just. Oh wait. Oh my gosh.
Wait,
No,
the
wait.
sword can do this the entire time?
All right, well, I
Also,
wasn't
I-
entirely paying attention before. I've spent a great number of centuries without having seen any dragons. You have to
We
understand.
spent so much time around a dragon without realizing it, and you could have just like
Rita,
the whole
we don't
time
have to
like
keep
Well,
saying
and then
that, okay?
until we
By the
were
way,
surrounded by
saying that
dragons
because
and you
I
were
All right,
riding on dragons, there was
please,
dragons
just-
everywhere.
just-
Listen.
Get a
I
room.
already have taken responsibility for this. I can do it too, and I didn't think to freaking do it, but I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah, she could do it too. Wait, you could do that? That's very
I'm
Do
doing
what?
it. I'm doing it
What is
right
she
now.
doing?
I'm
What are you
doing it.
doing?
Or just
Spidey sense.
touching
This
your,
is interesting.
What are you doing? You probably.
or just touching your fingers to your forehead.
No.
Are you trying to sense?
She's
if I'm a
doing.
Is
dragon?
this a side effect of all the
doing
sugar?
primeval awareness.
Naya, perhaps you will need to touch them again.
Touch Lux? That seems inappropriate.
No, oh goodness, why must you?
Reggie, you
Oh,
set
the
you
one
set
who
them up all the
suggested it.
time, okay? I just want to say that.
Lux,
Do what?
you-
What?
Yeah, it's mostly your own fault.
Yeah. You're
What? In what? What? In what? We get into a jungle and an alliance is formed against me?
not an alliance for to get
No.
to. Listen, Reg, you're very like eloquent and stuff. And you say all these words, and sometimes those words just set up Naya for a real good line.
Well, only if one is looking for it do they see an opening to and good. No, don't like that.
Pretty
I think
tactical.
we-
wouldn't
You see it
say?
now?
I do see it. Yes, I
Don't you have an
should.
appreciation for that kind of thing? Tactical strategy stuff, you know? Looking for the
Wordsmith
opening.
Reed,
These are
if you
quite
will.
different things. So I might. We are so far off the surface of this conversation so as to be similar to this very structure we sit upon.
Sorry, yes. Shirtless dude, are you a dragon? You said no.
Yeah.
No.
Lux can confirm?
Lux, you don't sense any dragons within 1 mile of you. You do sense fae and elementals. No fiends, no aberrations, no celestials, not within a mile. Or
Okay.
undead.
Yeah, I'm just another
Okay.
lizard
Not a
folk.
dragon. Confirmed.
Okay.
Can I have a Reginald roll for insight on like does our new companion here seem trustworthy?
Go for
Or
it. Yeah. Make an
is
insight roll.
he? Let me specify this a little bit more.
Mhm.
I think Reginald has a read that he definitely has his own personal interests here, as anyone would.
Mhm.
But I think he particularly wants to know: is he hiding some amount of danger from us?
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to ascertain.
I'm gonna let you add here, Will, what you will. But so I think that there is he's was pretty candid about like it's dangerous down towards the surface. I go down to the surface because I'm like capable, and I need a team of people, and all of that seems to be like tracking well. I don't know what more you would add, Will, if anything.
Oh, I think Reginald like now immediately connects the dots and it's like the surface. That's where this temple is.
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Yes, well.
You know, I go off on my own on the run sometimes. Some people ask for special stuff. I deliver it to them. I found out about this temple. I went to this guy I used to know, Suluran.
Oh,
Yeah, he's that cosmic. Nope, that's Corsair. Corsairs, that's it.
there you go. Yeah.
Hmm?
It's really cool.
Suleiman?
Suluran. Yeah, we met them on the
Suluran.
moon.
Hmm.
Really cool.
That does confirm to you guys, you would remember, maybe not you, Professor, as you didn't meet with him, that you guys asked him, like, what about
Yeah.
the Temple of Halcyon? Do you know anything about the Temple of Halcyon? So there's like the connective tissue of how Trazu like knows that you're all looking for this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay, this totally checks out.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we need to bring with us or prepare for, if anything, for this venture?
Anything to protect yourself would be
Oh.
recommended.
Fine.
Easy peasy, we're prepped for
Done
that.
and done.
Yes, we all come with our various forms of protection about
Yeah.
us.
Yes, we
Uh,
do.
I was given this thing.
Ooh.
Philly, right? I was given this thing.
So I think
Okay.
you're gonna break it out. Or are you taking it out to show them?
Like kind of covered up in like a cloth, not showing anybody else around. Just like show them like a little peek. Like actually, I like hold it like close, like deciding whether to show it to them or not. But then I
Okay.
just decide to. I got this from Suluran. And I just like reveal it in the cloth just a little bit. What does it look like, Philly?
What you have, it's like kind of a sphere. It's funny, as you like take it now, you think to the orb that you saw flying around in their ship, but it's like a sphere. It's not quite as large as the one that they had. This one's a little bit closer in size to a baseball. It looks to be made of blue glass, but like almost opaque, a very dark shade of blue glass rather. And it's got like I don't want to say like a third of it, but like a chunk of it, it seems to have been like shattered off, right? So you have this orb of this bluish glass that is kind of like broken, right? It almost as though like it fell, a piece of it got like chunked off. It's got these kind of cracks running through the rest of it. So you can hold it very easily in your hand with like a handkerchief or a small piece of cloth wrapped around.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's some kind of orb thing.
You know what it does?
Orb thing?
But I don't want to fully take it out in here. There's a lot of people around.
No.
Maybe once we get somewhere a little more secluded.
See,
But-
now he's doing. It's not always me. Okay, but, we should go.
Yeah.
I've seen enough. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
this is certainly a trail I'm willing to follow.
Any lead on a temple, I think we should take it.
Seems fun.
Yeah.
Just
I
take
agree.
The
Seems very
big goods with us, though.
Naya, would you mind, before we leave, would you mind just maybe like doing the, I don't know, Ray is up there and she's not doing great.
She hasn't been training like Lux and I have our whole life, and she can't keep up. It's quite sad. She tried.
Yeah. She did. Valiant effort, but
Yeah, sure. I'll go take a look. Naya's gonna bound up the stairs. No.
yeah, we gotta get all this to the Dragonfly somehow too.
As you bound up the stairs, I think like Ray, like you just hear like, oh no. And the door like opens. Ray is like, oh hey, yeah, okay, yeah, no, let's go back to the ship. We're going back to the ship.
No, we're going somewhere else. We're going to a temple, some
Ooh.
sort of ruins, that Halcyon thing that we're there. I don't know. I didn't pay full attention. I just knew temple, ruins, Halcyon. That part sounded cool. I sort of trailed off after that. But that's where we're headed. You seem to not be doing well. I don't. This seems different. Did you eat anything else besides those pastries?
No, yeah, no. That's okay, Clancy. I prayed to Clancy. I'm feeling a little better. I don't know how the two of them do it. Those changeling stomachs. I think that they can just. I might have been overcompensating. I'm tall, bigger, but I can't keep doing this. Not again.
Well, I feel like I've heard that Firbolgs might be sugar toast intolerant, so that might be a problem for the future.
So I think that she's like, well, I can help. What do we need to do? Where are we going?
You know, you should just rest here. That seems to be the
I
appropriate thing. Trust
do
me,
that too.
if you've got that thing, you're not going to want to be far from that room over there.
Okay.
It's going to be real vital for you throughout the day. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Poor Grace, what we're doing to her.
I know. I'm sorry, Grace. I'm sorry, Grace.
Got roped in.
So my question for you guys is, what do you want to do in terms of like somewhere more private, falling back? Like, I think for you, Trazu, you know that this place, it's far distant. All the information you have is that you have to get to like the endless waterfall, and this is a notoriously tough place to negotiate and travel through because it's like an endless waterfall. There's all these rivers that converge into this big kind of chasm, the water like plummeting into what amounts to like a giant crater in the earth, and so it creates so much like kind of mist and fog and vapor rolling up that it's really impossible to know what's down underneath. And generally people that don't want to die don't like go down into the hole, right? So I think all the information you have is that that's where you need to go. You know that like this broken sphere is like key somehow. It's a map, you're not sure. So where do you guys want to go? What do you want to do is my question here.
So, my thought, we should head back to the Dragonfly. We have some really cool, like honing, like trailblazing sort of technology. Not to brag or anything, but it's pretty cool. So I don't know, maybe we could try and do that.
Do you have stuff that can make all of us fly? I mean, the sword can, but that's only when dragons are around, I think.
I mean, like
I could just jump off and hope there's a dragon down there. That could be a hell of a risk. That sounds fun.
I think Doc is going to go over to the human that they spoke with earlier. Can I pay you to get all of this pastry?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's a lot of carriages and wagons. Yes.
Yeah.
Miss, I mean, yes.
Yeah, and also to run over to bakery and order like another round of it for tomorrow?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. And then Doc will like rejoin
I,
the other.
we should square up with your bill. It was free gold for the room and then 18 for the pastries.
Cool. And then I think Doc just like looks at Lux.
Oh, our accountant is upstairs. She'll be down eventually.
You spent 6 times as much on pastries as you did on accommodation.
Yeah, it's a real cheap room, eh?
That's great.
No one will ever question how much I spend on cheese moving forward. Agreed?
Never have.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be me.
Yeah. Nope.
Certainly
Good.
won't be Jake. Well,
Yeah.
don't we know a guy who has flying creatures that he was trying to sell us earlier to take a ride on?
They were
that
super expensive.
Yeah. Wait, can't we take the dragonfly?
What
I was
could
gonna
it cost?
say we have
The same as one
Why are we
cupcake?
talking about
Because
that?
Naya's
Well, if we-
positing. Yeah. Go
well, I
ahead.
was gonna say, I think if we leave on the ship, we'd have to go through customs again because we deported. Like, I feel like there's a whole process. I could be wrong, but
You won't have to go through customs out on the moon because you won't be leaving the planet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
We're also
glide.
super fast, so
And like, Lux is the best pilot in the galaxy, so.
oh yeah, if we could take the Dragonfly, we should take the Dragonfly. I assumed we couldn't leave the planet because of the processing that we did and everything.
We're staying on the planet though.
No, just the question is, what is the fastest way to get there? I think
Dragonfly.
I mean,
Good.
if you have a fast ship, that's got to be the fastest
yes,
way.
we have a very
fastest.
fast ship.
it's very, very
That's
fast.
it.
Yes.
It looks smaller than some of the others. I
Oh,
will
okay.
But
say.
it's
Yes.
fine.
Whoa,
There's
whoa,
nothing
whoa,
you
whoa.
can do with
Just
it.
let
It's
us-
the best ship
Please
you've ever
don't
been on.
Push it, buddy.
I mean,
all about the
I
motion of
just
the
saw it.
ocean,
I didn't actually go aboard.
Well, it's much bigger when you get up close. I hear it. I hear it.
And I
Good
think
to know, though.
with that, the scene fades out, opening back up with the group of you having like walked through the city with your new companion, leaving Reya behind to protect the pastries before they are transported. I'm sure a couple of boxes under your arms as you make your way back to the ship. And Ben's just like, "Oh wow, hey, you guys came back quick. Oh great, hey, Trazu!" As you guys all like load up on the ship, and is like, "So what's the plan?"
And you
Try.
want a Batwing?
Yeah. And gorging himself on pastries as the group of you now and the thing that like ramp like lifting back up the dragonfly ceiling, the lot of you removed from prying eyes, as it were. Somebody would have had to pay 40 gold for the docking fee, but I will cover that. Don't worry about it. I'm keeping tabs. Yep.
So much money is spent in this city.
I mean,
So
you know,
much money. It's fun. It's like vacation. It's fine.
party gold at this
I
point.
think Reginald like
Yeah.
goes back into his room while we fly away and shuts the door and is like
Mhm.
gone for a few minutes.
Okay, Reginald like slipping into his room as like Lux, you like drop into the Spelljammer helm, the big stone throne in the cockpit. Getting a look at this ship, Trazu. It's quite a ship. It's really like rather ornate. As you make your way in, you see it's got 2 floors. When you come in from the cargo bay, you head downstairs, and there's a series of doors leading into like the cockpit in the front, which has this huge kind of like metal compass almost mounted into the floor, arcane runes like flaring along it, this large like crystal ball like mounted up next to the seat, all of these like panels and dials and levers and strange things on the like around the cockpit. It's quite ornate. I don't know if you've been on or off of a lot of ships in your time.
Not really. He's never been off the planet. So this is interesting.
I think
We're
Doc's
staying
like showing him around.
on
See,
the
it's
planet, right?
bigger
We're
on the
not-
inside.
It's pretty great.
I mean, I guess.
Excuse me? You guess? You've never
I'm-
been on a ship like this before, I guarantee it. Tell me.
I mean, no, I haven't been on
Exactly.
many ships at all.
Never been on a ship like this and never will.
What's this lever do?
Don't you touch anything! Don't you touch anything!
All right. Now that we're like here, Travis
You
is
are a
gonna
chaos
take out.
gremlin. I'm very here for it. If you break my ship, I will kill you in your sleep.
I thought it was her ship.
It's
I mean, it's our ship.
But I'm the pilot, and she's the best mechanic in the galaxy. So she's what keeps her running.
We got the best pilot in the galaxy and the best mechanic in the galaxy.
Better believe it.
Yep.
That's right. They're a real dynamic duo.
You have a title?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm the best kobold on this ship.
Yep. Best kobold in the whole
Technically
freaking
factual.
world.
Maybe so. We just got here.
So,
Yeah.
do you know the name of this temple? Is there a name for it?
Yeah. It's the Temple of Halcinod.
I'm sorry? Temple of...
Halcinod.
Halcinod?
Okay.
Yeah.
House...
And someone remind me why we are interested in this temple.
Because this is where the dragon was possibly going. The dragon that we don't know the name of the dragon that was Ginny. That wasn't actually Ginny. Was
I
coming
was
to
looking
room.
for the ruins of a temple named Halcinod.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna take out the orb now. It's fully out of the little piece of fabric.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
nice
that's a
work
real
there.
nice color.
Gimme. Look
Uh,
at it.
Can I have the lot of you make intelligence checks? Professor, you're not here, I guess, or are you here by
Nobody.
now? No. Okay, so the other three of you, not you,
Great.
Tracer.
Great.
Just a regular intelligence check.
Mm-hmm. Flat int roll.
Yes,
Ooh,
Doc.
big
Let's
Doc.
go.
19.
Doc, the second you get a look at this thing, you're like, oh, as the shade of blue is distinctly familiar to the second of the moons that you saw when you guys came down in. These three moons rotating around the world of Rune. Orthos is this white moon that's kind of like these conjoined spheres. It's kind of almost like a dumbbell kind of shaped without like the long bar in the center. But the middle of the two runes, Siren, was a crystalline kind of blue sphere. The smallest Nyx is jet black. So as soon as you see this orb, it like reminds you of the image of the moon Siren against the starry void of the sky just the days before while you were coming down to the planet.
Cool. Give me the moon rock. Let me check it out.
I'm,
I'll give it back, I promise.
She's really good at figuring what stuff is. Figuring out what stuff is.
Pretty trustworthy.
I mean, okay.
Well, what are we gonna do? We're on the same ship.
As long
We're
as
not
I
gonna take
can
it from you.
get it back, yeah.
Yeah. I will ritual cast identify with my many tools and gadgets and scales and, you know.
I have scales.
Excellent.
Oh, my
Um,
skills.
Scales. As you are sitting at the one like side panel here in the cockpit, you begin to ritually cast identify over it, Doc. You are immediately tuned in to the fact that this is an informational sphere. It is damaged badly beyond the fact that it's like physically damaged. Obviously, there is like a break in the magic. You have a pretty strong feeling with the equipment here on the ship. You could get it to function. It reminds you of the sphere that was given to you by Yavanna before the lot of you left, in that it doesn't necessarily seem to have the same functionality as Ask. Certainly not at this point, but it's an information codices. And you imagine that it is like, you're clear rather, that it is tied specifically here to the world of Rune. And you can see that there is like a message right at the surface that is like catching before it can release. There's like an arcane kind of like loop where it's like short circuiting before it can like complete its function, right? And so, yeah, you obviously wouldn't be able to like fix it without the other piece of it or pieces of it, but you think that you could like repair it enough to get it to function with what you have here in the ship.
Okay. You know it's broken? Your thing? It's broken?
I mean, it kind of looks broken.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. I can't fix it totally. We need all the bits, but
I
I
thought
can
you were
fix
the
it a
best
little bit.
mechanic.
Excuse me. Yes, I am. But like, also,
need
I
to get
can't
the pieces
manifest
first.
moon rock out of nowhere.
I mean,
I'm
I
gonna.
didn't get it from nowhere. I got it from this guy. I deliver him stuff from time to time, like little stuff from the surface for, I guess, some sort of incantations or spells. He handed it to me as he died.
Okay,
Oh.
that is a
Told
whole
me-
story that I would like to hear in much more detail.
Yeah,
I'm
you were
gonna put
trying
her.
to- Yeah.
Tell us about this dying man's last wish for you to have this broken object.
Yeah, whoa.
I've been looking for information about this temple. This is the closest thing I got to it. And I don't know if this thing had something to do with him dying or he was just old. Like,
Who is this person to you?
client, mostly. Like, I
That
have people...
This orb as his last dying act.
I mean, yeah, we were, like, friendly. It's not like... I wasn't, like, stop in, collect his money, run away. Like, we talked from time to time.
He wasn't like
What?
a dealer. We actually like hung out like real
Yeah, he
friends.
Yeah.
And what was this guy's name?
Did I have a name for him?
What's his name? Yeah, you tell me. I can give you one, but you certainly could tell me. Not on the spot.
His name was... I'm still not good at this part of it.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Well,
I don't know.
30-something years, I'm still not good at this one either. What if
I don't
his
know.
name was Desna Fast Runner?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Desna. That's right.
Amazing.
Can't believe you
Desna.
forgot a name like that. Wow.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Will, man.
Wonder
Yeah.
if he was a dragon. That
I-
would be crazy.
I don't think so. I think they live a lot longer. I don't know that much about dragons.
Not when they're around us, apparently. Well, that's a whole situation that you got this from this person, this orb. Yeah, it's real interesting. So, we know the name of this temple, and I can get us there. Easy peasy.
I mean, yeah, I could tell you what I know, like roundabout where it is.
No need to tell me where it is. I got this handy dandy little compass thing in our cockpit, and it'll tell me right where to go.
All right.
Professor, just checking in with you while you're in the room. Anything noteworthy, notable? Nope, you're good.
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naya, are you like mucking with anything? You making any kind of trouble during this conversation, or nope?
Naya was going to try to convince Lux at some point to try to show them how to do a barrel roll as they're flying towards this waterfall.
Oh, very nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, Lux is going to like go to the helm and is gonna go to their big compass and use the find the path feature.
So, Lux, as you are sitting in like the Spelljammer helm, you drop your hand down to like the crystal ball on the side of you and you begin like focusing. And we see all these runes flare to life on the Mordekaiser compass. The dials begin like moving and spinning until like the pair of them crossing over, like fixed locking forward. This kind of like light, this dim silvery light emanating up off of the floor as the compass is like directly beginning to like guide you. And then suddenly, Lux, like the lines start to like converge. There's this very like, you've not used this feature before, and go figure that you're using it now, but you're make an intelligence check, Lux.
Oh, buddy.
I know,
buddy.
tough one. You can roll wisdom if you want. Make a wisdom check. This is an
Great.
appropriate time to substitute wisdom for intelligence. So go for it.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You are getting the impression that your device is attempting to work and there is some type of magical interference or loophole, like there's something inhibiting the ability of its magic to function. Meanwhile, Doc, what have you been doing?
I'm trying to fix the orb thing to get that, like at the very least, that surface message, if not anything else involved in
Excellent.
it. And the other thing that I think she wants to try to do as she's looking at it is figure out like how this was broken. Does it seem like it was intentional or an accident? Like, is there a way to supplement the missing pieces or track the missing pieces? Kind of that mystery of how it's broken and how to fix it as well.
Okay, so two things. First, can I have you make an investigation check?
Yes.
9. How it was broken, it's very hard for you to know. It's really tough. You get the impression like it looks like it was kind of like a clean break. A piece of glass like this shattering would normally end up with like another piece rather than like fractured shards, but it's so hard to know how it was broken. But over the course of like the next half hour or so, you're able to like sit it down on the desk. You've got all these tools, the enchanted tools you got from the Mordekaiser. You're like situating arms with like clamps, lifting it up, and like magnifying glasses. You've got like other little crystals. Waffle is like working with you, like with this little torch projecting heat. And so as you guys are flying, the compass starts like pinging out, going haywire. Professor's still in his room. Trazu, you are taken with the note as like the Dragonfly rising up. At first, there's like a little shimmy in the ship as the wings begin. They're like fluttering, right? And then it like pitches the nose down and begins to like cut away. You've flown before, though not in a ship of this scale, and to like sail over the streets of this city that you have known for so many years, it's quite a sensation in this massive vessel, much smaller than the other freighters, but still much bigger than your usual means of transportation. Yeah, you guys.
Rich,
Yes.
if that was a
Yep.
I forgot. Can I Flash of Genius that? And
Yes.
turn that into 14?
Yes.
Cool.
You get the notion, Doc, as you're looking at the one side, there's a chunk, like a divot on the edge of it. So you're pretty confident wherever the other piece of it is, it's probably a singular other piece that it did like break into two pieces. And as you see this divot right along the crack line, you like turn looking at the tools to your side and you see this chisel, a big chisel, perhaps even sitting next to you. And you think like, that looks a lot like a chisel flake. It looks a lot like somebody put a chisel to this thing and like shattered it with intention and purpose, right?
Like a big chisel.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I said
That's what
that.
he just said.
Yeah.
Just want to reiterate. Just
Like
want to
a
reiterate.
big chisel.
Yeah, not a small chisel, a big chisel.
No,
No.
big chiz.
Big,
Yeah,
big
chiz.
chiz.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Lux like calls for Trazu's like,
Hey, listen, my machine here is wonking out. I think you're gonna have to give me directions.
Uh,
Got some
All right.
interference, which makes sense because it's probably a real magical like temple-y thing. It makes sense, yeah. Yeah, it makes
I
sense that
mean,
we would be able to go right to it. I guess.
I don't know much about the magic stuff, but
Me
I've
neither.
certainly been on the planet. How well would I know the way there, Philly?
You have a really good idea of like the general vicinity. You know how to like
Okay.
get to the waterfalls. The big question is like, where is it from there, right? You had like a vision of it one day as you were like peering down from the sky. The sun like hit the rays of like the kind of water mist coming up out of this big excavation just so that you thought what you saw what you thought looked like the top of like this gigantic structure down towards the bottom, like hundreds and hundreds of feet down in. And then it was followed up by the word of like Desna Fastrunner, who was like, this is the map to Halcyon as he died, and put it in your hands, right? So you're able to orient Lux pretty well, with Naya on the other side of like, can I do the barrel roll now? Are you going to do it now? Can we do the barrel roll now? As you guys are like cruising, and Doc like kind of working on the orb at the side. It's at this point, Doc, that I think that like suddenly like light emerges up out of the top of like this shattered sphere. I think Waffle is underneath it, like projecting his little torch just so in a concentrated way that like there's this kind of beam of light hitting into it and refracting up out of it. And you all see what looks like an image start to like flicker and flash in front of it. Professor, I'm just checking in with you one time. You still in your room?
Yes. However, this is probably the appropriate time that
Okay.
he would emerge from his room.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ask the DM. Professor is doing two things in his room. One of them is that he is now pouring through the books that he has brought with him and that he has read about Rune in order to now combine that with the information that we have with Trezu to see if he can see anything out of what he believed to be like semi-fictitious accounts that might be helpful in navigation.
Make a history check with advantage as you've taken all this time.
I think avantage. Hi, did I click it? I thought I clicked it.
27.
Hey.
27.
Wow.
Let's go.
Okay, Professor. You were going through the recountings that you found of what seemed to be a fictitious story of this adventure book. A group of adventurers called the Allegro Band that were sent to investigate or to find this temple of Halcyon. They weren't sent so much as they sent themselves. They were lost and never to return from said adventure. Stories were told of like the words they spoke before they went. Professor, with a 27, you are like looking through the names as it's written HALCINOD, and like that NOD hangs up in your mind. You think back to the word puzzle that you completed that won you your very spot on this Dragonfly to begin with, your mastery of words and verbiage and language, and you can't help but thinking of a word that was questioned recently, the synod. The idea of this glittering synod and the notion that like the hall of the synod, the halcynod, you know well the way names evolve and change over time. A ruin now what may once have been like a great meeting place, a high temple for this ancient organization, as it were. There's probably some veracity to it. I think that in the midst of your researching, you come up with another revelation. Sometime between 3 to 5 times a year, on the world of Rune, there's what's called the alignment. It's the alignment of the siblings, it's called. The siblings are the 3 moons that orbit around the world. This blue moon, the middling one, the black moon, the smallest one, this white moon, the largest one. The white moon, Orthos, as it's these 2 spheres attached, it does not rotate cleanly. It's got this wobbling, convoluted, kind of pitching rotation as it revolves around the world. And as such, it moves with a kind of irregularity compared to other celestial bodies. But these moons, somewhere between 3 and 5 times a year, it changes, align themselves such that they appear with the white in the back and the blue in the middle and the black in the front, like a great eye peering down at the planet from space. It's inconsistent how often this happens. It's irregular, but it happens often enough. It's not considered a great portentous moment. There's a commonality to this event, but it is noteworthy, both to like locals who worship these moons and like reverence and spiritual practice, and just for the citizenry, the people of the world. It's a cause often for celebrations, festivals, weddings, all manner of these kind of events.
So I think the professor emerges from his room, like literally snout, like in a book, and he just says, like, "Hall of the Synod, we come upon the house or not? It is real, the things of my books." And I think as he's shouting this, you'll also notice he's completely changed clothes again. And he is now in like much less safari and much more jungle attire, like jungle appropriate attire, with like still a safari like shirt, but with like a few missing buttons at the top, and then some slacks, and then like rolled up sleeves and like instead of a bow tie, like a kerchief kind of like put about, almost like a cravat. And he has under his like armpit, not a pith hat, but a fedora hat.
Yeah.
And he's just now like shouting about this, like how the temple of the house knot. It is the hall of the synod. It is real.
Oh my gosh, that's
it is coming
crazy.
together like the eyes
That
of the
makes
moon.
so much sense. You know, when they said house synod, I was like, synod. But I was like, oh, I'm not gonna think about that. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Wow, that's so crazy. That's
Yes.
so cool.
It's totally wild.
Wait, don't look at me like that. It is revelation in a way. I've read these books as a child. I'd almost erased them from my memory, but it is upon meeting all of you and coming upon it is the fulfillment of a great adventure that we.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
You know
You
what?
change your clothes.
It's time for a
Yeah.
barrel roll. Everybody hard.
Thank you.
Naya immediately grabs hold of something to like and is just delighted.
Celebratory barrel roll.
I think it's like at that moment, like Red just like, I did. Thank you for no.
Yeah, I love the barrel roll while a bunch of people are just standing in the hallway like,
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
this is not a fighter jet. As the barrel roll starts to like pitch into this ornate roll, there's like this flickering image over the bit of orb that Doc has been messing with. And while this whole like thing is happening, the barrel roll, the whole like dragonfly pitch is whirling. You're looking at it like the giant glass steel eyes at the canopy of the jungle beneath you as you're upside down, rotating like back around. I think you just hear like the tumble and smashing of things in the cargo hold, the like bumping and like, jostling of everything at the strap down and the nets. And like Jake does a good job, but he can only do so much. As at this point, even though Doc's not here, this image flickering above the gem, you all see what looks like a world. The world of Rune, this kind of greenish, everything has this blue sheen to the kind of projection that's emanating out of it, but it is clearly the world, and you could see the 3 moons orbiting around it, and a voice starts to like speak. It's very thin and almost like stammering, coming from the orb as it goes. Follow the dark gaze of the siblings when they cast it. The blood of the children of Rune mandates the entrance. Follow the dark gaze of the siblings. And I think there's like this pulsing of light as it speaks coming from inside the orb. And I think as it's speaking, you see the moons aligning, Orthos like cartwheeling around the other 2 until they like pause in this alignment of like Orthos, the white moon in the back, the blue moon, the black moon before it, aimed in like a straight line down towards the world itself. Trazu, having grown up here, you're familiar with this. You've seen it many, many times. How old are you, Trazu?
I don't know, like lower 30s.
Okay, yep, low 30s. So, hundreds of times you have seen the alignment. You have been at like alignment weddings and festivals. You've danced in the streets. You've eaten confections, though not quite to the sickening amount that these maniacs do, apparently. But you're accustomed to this. You know that it is coming just like the next like 2 nights that the alignment like will be happening again. And it's not like a hugely noteworthy moment. But as you see this, you realize when the alignment occurs, there is this strange kind of haloing light effect as the moons cast their light down. And with the black moon of Nyx in the center, there's like a shadow that is cast down from the light. This kind of like blue halo, white light around that, and then like this darkened shadow, right? It's a game that a lot of like the children play, especially the tribal kids, that they'll like run out into the woods, and like the idea of like, is your heart hard enough to race through the eye, the shadow of the eye, the darkened gaze of the siblings, as it were. This is a thing that they do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think I tell everyone that. I was like, yeah, I'd run in there every year.
That is precisely where we need to run. We must go into the darkened gaze. And
Holy shit, you guys!
Okay, I between that weird message and this really cool eye stuff happening and the professor coming out and talking about those books, I was a little distracted earlier, but this does actually seem important. Can someone explain why?
The temple.
Right. But what's this hall of the synod thing? That's a thing you all were talking about before?
Synod. It's gotta be the freaking the whole thing, the glittering synod, the group of like good dragons that are fighting the evil dragons.
Yes, this could very well be the temple, wherein the very dragons that were attempting to rescue and protect Lan. I had it. It was at the tip of my tongue. Goodness. Look. Trust me. Just trust me. This is the sort of thing they write about in books for a reason.
This is a legend. This is or could be the meeting place of the people that our friends are trying to gather again, rebuild, to fight tides of darkness, the shadow dragons, and this is what the evil dragons are looking for, which is really, really scary.
Oh, right. Okay. I kind of remember this. They all gathered together. They called that angel that we freed to fight back the darkness, and then they all disappeared and all that. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I'm really sorry,
good
by the
job
way.
over there, everyone.
By the way, Charles, we're really sorry. There's a lot happening. We're like dragon fighters and stuff, and we're pretty cool,
Are you bringing dragons here?
No.
It's possible that they're trailing us and we're not aware of it. That's always.
I dare them to try.
Gosh, every time.
Startled me.
I'm sorry, I get very excited. I was made with a very specific purpose.
Oh yeah, I'm also excited. I would, love to fight a dragon again. It's very cool.
But no, we are not aware of any sort of dragon within the near vicinity. We have many means by which to determine what, or if one is coming toward us. We just simply know that this is a location where an evil dragon was attempting to come before we dispatched them most quickly.
Also, we've killed a couple, so if we gotta fight one, we gotta fight one.
I've fought things with big teeth, big claws before, so.
Yes.
You sound like a natural.
Yes.
Speaking of which, those teeth upon your bandolier, if that is what I should call it. Yes. What are those from?
Thing that it was unlucky to come my way that day. I got two of them. You see this one, it's a little sleeker than the other one. This one, it's got a little purple streak on the bottom of it. This was a giant snake out in the jungles.
That's fun.
The other one, I don't really know what it was, but it didn't like me. So it was me.
Oh dear.
Right, and I got away. And I took this with me.
Reginald like slowly puts his fedora on and just says like, why did it have to be snakes?
So,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say? Lex? I think that you guys are flying for quite a while, right? The Mordekaiser compass still like kind of like misfiring and like tweaking out as you're beginning to like understand. Obviously, powerful magical wards concealing this place. This is why it has been so kind of unfound for so long, right? This notion of like following the eye, like traveling through the heart of the darkness when the gaze is down upon it, like seems key. And you tuned enough to portals to like wonder if there's even there, if, as though like the alignment of the moons might open a portal. Curiosity overwhelming you. I don't know if there's anything major the rest of you want to like discuss, but ultimately like it's hours, right? You guys are flying for like the better part of the day, leaving the city behind. The Dragonfly is a fast ship, the fastest ship, 12 parsecs even, and you're cruising over the treetops, the city of Rune long gone behind you. There are points where you see like these great like flying beasts rising up out of the tops of the trees, what looks like these massive bats that you think like some of them have riders at one point that you see. There are like these gigantic birds. There's a point, Lux, where like a shadow like blocks out the light coming through the cockpit, and you're like, oh gosh, did it get? And you like pitch down looking up, only to realize that there's a bird like twice the size of the Dragonfly that like sweeps over the top of you, blotting the sun out before it like cruises away off your angle. Clearly well fed, or it might be looking at you with different eyes.
Oh, baby. Hey.
Shrezu, you must have such a blast living on a world like this. There's so many weird and interesting and fascinating things to see.
I mean, that's one way to put it. It's kind of all I know. Are other planets not like this?
Every planet is unique in its own interesting, fascinating way. You should get out there, but, you know, I will say, explore, have fun, but don't lose sight of home. You might not be able to find it again, so you should keep that at heart.
You can't
Aw.
find it again?
Well, I didn't say me necessarily. Professor, tell me more about those books.
Yes, I could certainly tell you more books about missing home and not being able to return there, because it's quite clear that that's what you were implying.
Oh, you know what? I think I hear Ben calling.
I don't think that you do. I believe that you should truth or dare.
No, that's fun.
Naya smiles. Oh, you know I'm choosing dare. I always choose dare.
I'll be honest, I expected a truth, but
You always do.
I should know better at this point. A dare. For
I got one.
9. Oh. Yes, we could turn this into a group project.
That little black orb thing seems to like you. Everybody here.
Oh, goodness. You have, wow.
Oh, I knew this guy.
The orb like floats into the door.
New user, welcome. I am the Accumulating Shadow Chronicle designated Ask. I appreciate your insight and appreciation of finer things. I was not certain you would travel with us, but being invited onto the ship, I feel comfortable revealing myself to you now. Your new guest is very wise.
Don't make me fly this ship upside down.
I levitate.
I don't care.
I don't
Are
know,
you
it looks
daring
shiny.
me
It looks
to-
cool.
What are you daring me to do? Because if it's what I think it
I
is.
don't know. This thing seems to want a friend.
No. No dares about the creepy orb because Naya won't say no. So
True.
I have a
It
dare
is
for
worth
you. It just took me a
recognizing.
minute to determine it. I would like you, as a dare, to say no to 5 things over the next 10 days. 5 things you really, truly wish to do, but you will instead say no.
Wow. Who knew you had this in you, Professor? Not bad. I'll take that there. Sounds like it could be interesting. And then Naya looks back and is like, by the way, you could have just dared me to tell the truth. And then just looks back out the window.
Oh, perhaps someone will learn something different from this.
I think Ask, feeling very deflated, is like,
I will return to my quarters.
which all of you know, it doesn't have quarters as it
No.
like floats out
just like
of the
off
room,
into a corner.
levitating away from you guys toward the back of the ship. Truth or dare bounds. Pastries are consumed. Barrel rolls occurred. So the afternoon passes towards evening. Darkness filling the night. Stars twinkling against the night sky, as you can see in the sky, the beginning of the alignment of the 3 moons, Orthos, Siren, and Nyx. And so as you all are kind of flying, you've guided her as best you can, Trazu. Lux having done like a good job. The Mordekaiser compass, despite like tweaking out, is getting you in like the general vicinity, right? Trazu is kind of like pushing you in the same direction that the compass is taking you. It just can't localize on this like final geography. And so I think that in the waning hours of sunlight, just before they fall, you all can see what amounts to like this massive chasm, just fog and mist rolling up out of it. But it looks to be at least like 6 or 7 miles in like kind of diameter, of like a series of massive rivers that are just kind of appearing. It's a striking sensation from the air, because the trees at like the various ranges of 5, 6, 800 feet, as you come to like the edge of the tree line, there's this plummeting drop down to like the surface of the earth itself, right? And then a secondary drop as the earth like kind of heaves out into this chasm, this hole, this abyss in ruin, as it were, with these massive waterfalls. I'm talking like, you know, Victoria level, like Titanic, like miles across wide, and just rolling up out of there is this mist and fog churning up into the air, obscuring all sight of anything below. Immediately, Lux, you recognize, like, you know, you could bring the Dragonfly down in here, but without like guidance, you have no idea what's down there. You just have no visibility. You know that like the moisture on the windshield, this thing designed to fly in space, it's going to immediately start like fogging you over. You don't have windshield wipers, you know? So as such, the like night having like kind of caught up to you as you first caught sight of it, by the time darkness has swallowed the sky, you are like right around the edge, kind of piloting the ship around the circumference, Lux, as in the sky above the moons, the wobbling kind of roll of Orthos, like it's in this kind of odd center until it like shifts itself up to where it's vertical. It's all happening very slowly over the course of minutes. And suddenly, as you cast your eyes to the heaven, a great eye peers back from the heavens at this world, this large like white background of Orthos in the back, Siren like the blue you know, iris of the eye, into like Nyx, as you see in the last like moments, like this small black orb beginning to like pass over the other two. blotting out the sun as it does so, casting this shadow in this like lengthening way until they all are aligned, like this eye peering down. And the sight outside of the ship as you all take it in is one to behold, while like the water vapor is refracting all of the light. And there is this kind of like radiant blue, almost halo around like the very edges of this crater. White light, like dim and diffuse, washing out away from that while it kisses like the tops of the jungle tree canopy. And then down through the center is just this shadow of darkness where Nyx has like blotted out the line of the sun. And very strangely so, it's like the darkness almost cutting through the water vapor. You can't see, but it's a more comfortable sense of not seeing, if that makes any sense, as this like column of darkness like pierces down through the water vapor within. I don't know if that's all like viewable for you guys, right? As you're circling around this kind of like massive crater.
Big Pandora vibes in all the waterfalls and the shit. Yeah, very fun.
Well, I'm gonna follow the dark gaze.
That's what
You guys
it
are
said
ready.
to do.
I'm also
Sounds like
gonna.
a plan.
Can Lux reach out and do? She's done it once before, but can she cast her detect portals like through the Mordekaiser compass? to, like,
Mordekaiser
magnify
compass
it?
amplifies. Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I know I ask you this every time. Could you just drop the detect portals here
Mhm.
too? I always get confused if it's like planar, interplanar.
It's really just it's.
Planar portal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a charged word. Let me have you make an insight roll, Lux. You don't detect any portals.
Insight. Boom. 24.
You don't detect any portals, Lux. What you do detect is the echo, the residue. It's almost like the water stain on a table as you're like gazing as the ship is like closing in with this column of darkness dropping down in. You like turn, peering up through the cockpit as you can still catch like the line of sight to like this vast eye peering down at you from above. And you immediately think back to Gerby and the lunar base above Lund and the telescope, how it opened a portal above and below. And you can't help but think and wonder to yourself, what happens if the moons align in different direction than where they are oriented now, as you begin like dropping the ship down in the darkness. I think there's a moment for all of you where you're swallowed by darkness. So used to the light from the outside of the Dragonfly filling the inside of it up with light. But as you drop down in, the ship like pitching forward, beginning its kind of vertical descent, you hear the pounding of the water all around you, but it's invisible to you, lost. You even can like scent through like the like just the air moving into the chamber, the kind of like moisture as it's so palpable. But for one of the first times ever, despite your travels through the deep void of space, the inside of the ship is almost completely dark. It's a sensation that never happens in space because there are so many stars in every direction, right? And the only light that you're getting is coming off of the glow of the Mordekaiser compass, the panels, the glimmering of the orb that Doc has like kind of mounted over near Waffle. As you begin to descend, the imagery from the orb flickers and flashes away. And I think you hear this voice one last time, like, the blood of Rune grants the passage. Find the keepers. Seek the lowest levels. The blood of Rune grants passage. Find the keepers. Seek the lowest levels. The blood of Rune grants passage. And it like kind of like dwindles into a whisper as like this pulsing light like pulses one last time and then like kind of dims and the rock goes dark. And you think to yourself, Doc, like you could probably power it up and like charge more out of here, but without the other half of it, it'd be tough to repair fully.
I think Doc walks over and just pulls out a dagger to Trezu. I think I need your blood.
Excuse me?
You're from Rune, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it said the blood of Rune grants passage. I think that's you. I think we have to like hopefully not all of it, hopefully just some of it.
It's just a lot when someone comes up to you and says, I need your blood.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're getting over that pretty quickly because we're gonna go to the temple. So
I mean, sure. Let's do it.
I mean, not that I'm not about like just cutting people, you know, or whatever, if that floats your boat, but this, are we sure this is what that means? I mean,
no,
riddles
not
are
at all.
often
But
dual
you know,
meaning.
I'm open to other interpretations.
I'm still down for it, even if it's wrong.
It's entirely possible that simply the presence of someone whose blood is that of Rune is sufficient to grant passage.
Or maybe it means the blood of the planet. What does a planet bleed? Lava? Water?
Yeah, it could mean, quite honestly, anything. Puzzles are meant to obscure and provide a challenge.
Yeah, listen, not for nothing, you guys were flying in the waterfall.
Ah, yes.
A really big one. So that I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it might. It's real dark.
Lux, let's have you make a Spelljammer check plus your Constitution.
While she rolls that, I just want to make a quick note that it's somewhere along this long ride. Reggie would have spent just at least a few minutes with the orb in order to like understand it and look at it, examine it, not doing anything weird with it.
Got it. You're like able to study it quite thoroughly. Yep.
And he's done some Astromancy archive shenanigans. So,
okay, nice.
Yeah. So,
Lux 24. The flying of a Spelljammer vessel is not a matter of pulling levers or twisting wheels, but rather infusing your consciousness through the helm into the body of the ship itself. You feel yourself buffeted and pulled. There is a rigidity to all of this, a precision that you need to weather in terms of like the air pushing you in all these different directions. Your vessel, as deft and as maneuverable as it is, was designed to hurtle through the void of wild space, not to delve into the depths of a jungle waterfall, potentially miles deep. And so as water is like clipping bits of the ship, you manage to like hold strong through the darkness while you are dropping in. With that, I think all of you see it. There is this glimmer of light coming back at you suddenly. The first like hints, they look like the thinnest of lines radiating back through the shadows of darkness. I think suddenly the lines begin to like clarify, getting like fuller and clearer and wider as you're dropping down in. You see what looks like things like small like objects flying past the windshield of the ship for a moment, startled, concerned, perhaps even panicked. As you're descending down lower, Lux, you like level the ship out, trying to like pitch down as you realize you're like descending straight towards what's coming into focus. The many tiers of what appears to be a gigantic temple built upon itself, like square in shape, like so many layers stacked on top, something that is very evocative of what we might recognize as Mayan or Aztec types of ruins, right? These like levels, less pyramid, but more like square levels stacked on top of each other. But what's glowing back at you is this glimmer of blue light radiating up around like all of the kind of perimeter edges of the temple, as though it's like absorbing something from the light of these moons casting on it and kind of radiating it back up at you. And it's at this point that you see like sailing past the front of the ship, what you recognize to be these massive giant bats, more of the bats. And I think that you have a moment where it looks like one of them has a rider on it as it zooms past the front of the ship. Meanwhile, Doc, you've like got this dagger and want Trazu's blood. Is anything happening there?
I think she's just gonna yell up at Lux, find the keepers, go to the bottom, whatever that means. And then I think she's going to sort of look at him one last time for some sort of nod of approval, and then cut open his hand.
I guess be kind of careful. I guess it's my good hand. I kind of use that.
You put your hand out. Doc, you gonna cut him?
Non-dominant hand.
Yeah, there you go.
I use both.
I use both. He says he does. No, wait, the other one. No, the other one. It's like, Doc, you gonna slash him for just one hit point, or are you really trying to get a good stab in?
I think she's just gonna do just like a very quick, like blood oath type cut. But then like, also like, I don't know if this is what we're supposed to do. If you've got a better idea, I'm down. But
I thought it was water, but I mean, we don't know until we know.
I do
Might
think
as well get all the things.
Trazu, you take one hit point worth of damage as Doc slices the hand very gently. And what do you do with the blood?
Don't drink it.
The blood on the knife.
We have a plan for that.
Wait, no, truth or dare.
What was your plan?
Oh my god.
This was it. This is as far as I got.
He's standing there with like a bleeding palm.
She's got the knife and his blood on it.
Knife sighs and walks over and like puts their hand in Trazu's and then just uses lay on hands for one hit heal point.
There you go, Trazu.
And then gives Trazu a wink and
Get the magic touch.
I do think
no
Lux
idea.
like yells back like, "There's a rider on one of these things. This is why I need a horn."
This is why you need...
work on the horn. Will be the next project, but could we? Do we have a speaker or something on the ship? I feel like, can we talk to
I
them?
could go out on the top deck and yell really
Absolutely
loud
not,
like
Ben.
Lux.
Okay,
Absolutely not, Ben. Nope.
I'll go.
Don't we-
Someone figure out what to do with this blood.
Wait. Don't we have a? Am I imagining that we have a megaphone?
I
Don't we
swear
have
we've
one?
done this before. Yeah.
We totally have a megaphone. I'm like,
It's
I'm
much cooler to go
pretty
out on
sure.
the deck.
I'm pretty sure that we do.
I'm going out on the deck.
Yeah.
I'm
let's
going out on the deck too.
Please be
Trazu,
careful. I don't know if these
Reya,
people are friendly.
Doc, Waffle, you all are making your way up to the deck. Lux, you're still at the helm. Professor, where are you staying in the cockpit? You're going up top.
I think he like looks at Lux to see if Lux wants company or not.
I think Lux clearly is like squirming in the seat, like she wants to get up and go out with everybody, but she's focused. She's like, she has like the look on her face, like she's in the Spelljammer portal, so she like has the weird like her like concentrating face on, but it's really serious. You could tell that she's like really trying. So I think that Lux is like just.
I will stay there in case she, hops a blood vessel or something.
Reya like appears in the cockpit, leaning at the door, just looking out like, whoa. As the ship is like sailing. Meanwhile, Trazu, you follow your new friends as they make their way up to the top deck. As you emerge out onto the top deck, there is a large potted plant with these kind of glimmering red buds on it. As you like walk past it coming out of the thing, you just hear like, well, hello.
Ignore the creepy plant unless you want to
Hey.
give it your blood.
Wait, it takes. What?
I
Yeah,
smell
weird, right?
that. As Doc walks past, it's like, I smell it.
It's not for you. Go.
I'll just like wipe my hand clean of the blood on the plant. I'll like take a leaf and
I think as you wipe the blood on the leaf, we watch like as Trazu like turns away from it, the leaf like disconnects from the plant and starts to like flutter down in. Oh yeah, it makes the pot. As it lands, the leaf like flutters down into the pie. You just hear like, yes. Well, meanwhile, Doc, Naya, Trasy, the group of you up here at the top, you see what is clearly this array of these bats. I don't know if you've ever seen a bat fly, but these giant bats fly the same way. It is volatile and violent, pitching and pivoting, making turns that Lux only wishes she could emulate in this Dragonfly. 90-degree pivots, 180 degrees, flying upside down. Listen, you're good, but you're not a bat, Lux. I'm
The
sorry.
moons aren't the only thing throwing shade around
Pilot
here.
in the galaxy. Don't even.
I'm in cruel DM mode until you replace her with a
Players
bat.
were intense, not even the characters.
The bat is like pitching, and so you see clearly what looks like a rider on one of them, and they all begin to like pull off away from you, flying up towards like the top of the temple, where I think that all of you would be able to make out what look like people moving around the upper floors of the temple. This blue light like radiating up off of it illuminates them, long shadows, humanoid like against the walls. But it's as the three of you are here that suddenly this like light is radiating down from behind you, the darkness starting to give, and you turn and look and you see an array of these turquoise glimmering figures, each one of which is about the size of Waffle. Is that about a waffle size, like a loaf of bread?
I
Big
feel
loaf
like,
of
Bigger
bread.
than a bread box.
yeah, bigger than a bread box.
Bigger than a bread box. Okay, so they're maybe a little bit smaller than a waffle, as you see like what look to be about a dozen, no, 2 dozen, no, 100, 200, 300 of these turquoise shapes dropping down at you from behind. And as you all are looking, you see, and you're immediately reminded of the sight that you saw in the belly of the moon above Lun, peering through the portal, as you realize they're dragonflies. They're like these giant phosphorescent, ethereal, glowing turquoise dragonflies, and they drop down in this cascade. They're pouring into like the column of darkness, lighting the darkness up around the ship, casting this turquoise glow in through the cockpit, through the portholes, lighting up the storage bay, casting this glow over the lot of you as the wind blows in your hair. The bats kind of circling over to the top of this temple as the dragonflies like swarm over the ship, almost not touching it but pulling around. Lux, suddenly like the light begins like kind of glowing in from around you, and you just see this column of them out in front of you, and you realize they're leading you as they drop down in, like pulling you down almost like a tether, like a rope, as you follow the ship like pitching down level. And
Yeah, I do think Lux like kind of like giggles, like just completely like giddy, like with Reggie right there. Is like, yeah, they're just so happy. Shouting time for like, yeah, it's great. He follows them, yeah.
I think these are the keepers. Yeah.
That means we have to go to lower level next, right?
To the bottom.
They're leading us. They're leading
Clearly,
us.
I was supposed to cut your hand because so far it's worked.
Yes. That seems
Sure.
logical.
And so Lux, you realize like as you're circling around the base of the temple that it's on this like big pedestal, almost a pillar of earth and rock, and you drop down off the edge. You're now like down beneath it, the temple like up behind, the dragonflies like swirling as they go in this kind of like corkscrew like spiral down in, and suddenly you see them all like pitching in towards the column into what is this massive opening, a huge cave front. It almost reminds you of Bridge. As you pitch down around, you bring the dragonfly out wide, pulling around, coming forward, and you see in front of you what can only be described as the entrance to a massive temple gate, kind of many hundreds of foot walkway with some stairs leading up, and then this glimmering blue light coming back at you from where the entrance is. What do you want to do? You want to land?
Yeah, I want to land.
And so
Trazu, did we know that
you do.
there's like people who live here? There were like people on top of this temple?
No.
Cool. Awesome. Love it.
Let's go make
And
some friends.
so the ship flies into the mouth of the cave, and very quickly you lower it down. The legs like, and I think that Reya's like, oh gosh, I'm still not feeling that great, but I know you really want to get out there. I'll stay here with Ben and Jake if we need anything, but you all should go with them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, Reggie. Come on.
Wait. And I think he will leave with Lux. And he'll go get the others, reconvene, and I think we will attempt to descend out the back of the Dragonfly in order to see what we will see.
See what you will see. And so as you descend and you begin to approach the gate to this temple, what you see sprawling out in front of you, you all kind of walk, you get a couple 100 feet away from the ship, moving towards the gates.
Sorry, Rich. Maybe I missed this detail. The Dragonflies that escorted us here, once we've sat down, what did they do?
Oh, you did not miss this detail. It's a great point. As the ship sets down, they are like kind of cascading around, but they all begin like flying forward, illuminating this whole chamber as the group of you come. So as like you're walking, the dragonflies have dispersed. Like where it seemed like there was like hundreds of them for a minute. Now, as you're looking around, it's maybe like 40 or 50 of them in this chamber with you. And they're all like above you, just kind of like flying in. They're moving towards the gate at the back, which you see clearly as you all begin to approach. Like walking up this set of stairs, there's this huge kind of like sigil mounted in the ground, this ornate relief work of what looks like the snarling visage of a kind of wild face. There's a sword behind it etched into the floor, and then much more notably, the gate entrance to the temple itself, the huge kind of carved stone relief of a dragon's head emerging over these towering doors, the same kind of like turquoise blue light glowing out of its eyes, and beneath it what is clearly this like geometric like patterning and sigilling of like runes of what is like a barred entryway, a magical gateway preventing passage forward.
Throw the blood at it.
I'm gonna approach the gate a little bit, looking for any sort of traps.
I think Lux runs up to it and is like yelling,
Stop.
like,
I'm
"Hello,
gonna-
hello!"
We don't really go for subtle.
She's freaking out. Yeah.
Make an
Lux-
investigation roll, Will. It's
Yeah.
like Trazu is like, wait, stop. And Lux is like running forward ahead. You guys can move yourself on this map as you see fit. It's a gigantic map.
Oh, my
27.
goodness.
27. As you start to approach Trazu, you don't like see any obvious overt traps, though you recognize there is like arcane energy infused in like this sigil on the center of the floor, and that clearly there's like a gate barring passage into the back. Yes. Sorry, I just got distracted for half a second. Yeah, so that's clearly like a magical gateway. You don't think that it's trapped in as much as like it wouldn't hurt you if you touched it. But you do have a notion that there is like a connection between like the conduit of this door and the sigil back where your friends are standing. Lux, meanwhile, you start yelling.
Hello. I also think she like knocks on the stone wall, like pounds on the stone wall. Hello.
I think we gotta do something with this sigil.
What's everybody else doing? Just real quick, 1 second before things start happening.
Looking at the sigil, trying to figure out what it does.
Same. I like the picture of the monster and the sword.
I think Reginald's like looking back and forth between the gate and the sigil, and then flipping between pages of the book that he's brought with him, like hoping there's some guidance here.
Okay. Can I have you Melissa, let's have you make an investigation check with advantage as Naya is helping you. Professor, is there anything specifically you want to like make a roll to see if there's any active information? You have a question you're looking to answer?
Oh, I think he's just a little overwhelmed by all of this. I think he's just mindlessly flipping through pages here.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's really attempting a roll.
Got it. 27, that was you. 18 with Flash of Genius. Got it. Thank you, Doc. 18. As you're like looking, you crouch down and are examining, and you can see there is gold melted down into the relief of the floor. There has got to be, you think, Doc, like 5,000 gold pieces worth of gold melted into the floor of this thing, though there's algae grown over it and dirt and soil and earth in some of the cracks and crevices. And Naya, you're like recognizing the same thing as you like move a little bit of this like moss with your toe, and you see this glint of like gold in the turquoise light underneath. But it's just as this is happening that there's a shine suddenly off the gold, this kind of like turquoise-ish light radiating up through the moss and such, and a figure, oops, that is not at all the correct figure. A figure proceeds to begin to emerge up out of the stone in front of you. Here we go. Much better.
Hi.
It's a bit bigger. I will zoom in to allow us some clarity. This humanoid shaped figure begins to just kind of rise almost. Like it almost seems like the shadow starts lifting up off of the floor, and then like the shadow transforms into a cloak. And then the cloak like continues to extend and unfurl as you see this vaguely kind of like humanoid form emerging underneath it. But then like it's got a pair of arms, but a second pair of arms emerge out from under the cloak, and then a third pair of arms emerge out from under the cloak. So it's holding like these like 6 arms. It has a massive kind of like club with these almost like spiked teeth jutting up out of the ends of it. And I think that you would note, Trazu, that they are teeth. They are like the fangs of some reptilian creature emerging out of the staff. Its back is to all of you as it like emerges up. And I think we hear like the popping of like bones and joints as it turns around, like looking to you. Sorry, Trey. And it's just like, greetings. You have found the halls of Halcynod. Do you bear the blood of Rune?
He does.
I do.
And she does a small bit in her hand, I believe.
Quick question. Did dragons come from Rune?
Also, why did you call it Halcynod?
That is the name of this broken hall. Once a place of hope in the future, now a shattered ruin. I think looking to you, Naya, I think that it just says, some have. They came first from elsewhere, but Rune is a home to the worms.
Okay, fair enough. For a moment, I thought we'd have to spill dragon blood. We don't have that on hand.
It has been many days since dragons stood in this hall.
Who are you?
My name is lost to time. I am the last guard of this temple, failed in my duty, doomed to stand watch until the end.
Oh, that's intense.
What was your duty?
To protect the way. To not allow interlopers. To not allow thieves and robbers. To not allow the enemy passage. I failed.
great news, though. That's not any of us at all.
Yeah,
We're not
none
here
of
to do
us
any of that.
here are thieves.
You failed. You say that you failed.
I did. My timeless watch was shattered, my brethren destroyed and cast into the void of endlessness. I am the last. I will stand here until the end. But the enemy is within already. The ways have been shut to us.
So, can you help us get in so we can get rid of the enemy?
Yeah. Also, what's the enemy?
True. Good question.
Any you need to paint us a verbal picture, if you will.
I think it looks towards Trazu and says, you are the blood. The rites and ceremonies are long forgotten. You are the first to come in many ages, seeking passage. You would lead these companions within the hall.
Yeah.
You will need the key. And I think it's one of its many hands slipping under its robe. The other emerges holding this fractured chunk of blue glass.
Hey, that's the thingy.
Yeah.
Travis
Need that.
gonna reach out.
And I think that he turns his hand palm up and extends it towards you, this shard of glass in it, and says, the blood will grant passage. The blood of Rune. Your blood.
See, I knew we needed his blood.
Do we need
Good
to
call.
pour it on it or something? How does
Like
that
glue?
work?
Can I have the other part of the orb back?
Yeah. He hands you the part, and then you've got your larger part.
Alright,
Oh yeah, it's yours.
put it together.
As you put it together, he's just now, prove your blood, Dragonkin. I will draw it from you if it comes to that. I think you see its hand tighten on the maw a little bit.
I think Doc
I'm
just
gonna
holds
nudge
out her
Doc
dagger
and just,
again.
give it the blood.
I think Doc's gonna try to smear it from her hand on for, and then if it doesn't work, she'll hold out the dagger and be like, "I think you need to do it again. I'm sorry, I preempted it too much. Right answer, wrong time. It happens."
Okay. Yeah. So put the blood on this or the symbol.
I don't know, both, just to be safe.
All right.
I
Okay.
think it's
Yeah,
like
so-
glue.
So, Trazu,
I
you
mean, I
cut
can-
yourself?
yeah. I'm gonna take out. I have a dagger.
Okay.
Like-
Yep.
I'll cut my hand again for just a single hit point worth of blood, and I'll put it on the stuff.
Okay. I think that you take another pit point worth of the blood, like sliding your hand around the orb, and suddenly this light flares out of it around the edges of the crack, and I think you see this light is flaring from behind, your hand being almost pulled, Trazu, the orb being pulled towards the doorway, as there is for a moment in your mind a flood of memories that are not your own. You see images, you see the temple that was above shining in the sunlight, the waterfalls cascading around it. You see lizard folk and dragonborn, kobolds and bullywugs all standing around the temple,
temple, while on its surface a great dragon, golden scaled, like sings. You remember the sound of a song filling your heart that was never yours, soaring to the sky. There is like this incredible, like, then like wave of like darkness. You see the dragonflies in the darkness. You see a turtle with a like orb upon its back. You see the moons like hurtling through space. All of you are like struck as there's like this cracking sound, like a peal of thunder, and this guardian, this six-armed entity of a being, like shivers, like the way may yet be found. Tread lightly, for the danger, the enemy, is within. As like suddenly the light, the blue light, like coming from the door washes over all of you, and you can see while like the light cascades over this thing, it almost begins to like burn through it, like it cooks off like so much water vapor vanishing. And with that, Trazu, you're holding this orb in your hand. You like shake off this like wave of memories that crash into you, and you realize that the way is open. The entryway into this hall is open. You could feel the orb almost like drawing you, Trazu, forward. Yeah.
Just like shakes his head. Oh, that was something.
Can
Let's
we
do
go
it.
in?
Yeah, it's open.
Let's go.
I'll lead the way.
There's not anything in the book about this part.
Come on, Reggie. This is the part about adventuring. We're making history. Let's go.
Yeah, enemies, monsters. He said some sort of thing. We're just gonna go kill it. That's what we do. It's great. As Naya like unsheathes their sword.
Yeah, Lux pulls the bow and.
Right, okay, well, it's time to write our own adventure, it seems. Good day to you, dark creature and protector of this gate.
See you later, lost to time.
Thank you. Like someone needs to do it.
With that, the five of you make your way into the hall. You see what looks like a maze of hallways leading out in front of you, stairs leading up. But Trazu, as you were walking, the orb like in one hand, kind of drawing you forward, these stairs lead down, and you realize like, down, this is the way. As you like turn, making your way down this staircase, the lot of you all kind of following, and you like descend down a couple of switchbacks, walking down staircases after staircases until you emerge in what is a small room about 15 by 20. There's a door to the north, there's a door to your left. There are all these kind of like little shelves and tables, ancient kind of crockeries, a thick layer of like dust over most of it, though notably on the floor it seems to have been like there's a walking path, it looks like, almost like leading out of this door and then into the other one. What would you guys like to do?
Is it pulling you any sort of way anymore?
Is it still just like
I
going
think-
down?
Nope.
Or-
I think as you have gotten here, Trazu, as you step down into this like lower floor, there is this just it's almost like you feel almost like a rhythm in it, like almost a heartbeat or a pulse.
Can
Somewhere around here.
Lux shoot off another primeval awareness?
Sure.
Beam, beam.
You immediately detect fiends and undead.
Ooh. Yeah, there's some gnarly stuff.
I mean, I could sneak up ahead and look.
You hear
we
some
want.
rattling happening in the room to the left of you. All of you suddenly hear this. I think you hear the sound of like, and then like the shuffling of like, and then you just hear like some clattering and smashing, bumping, like things moving around off in the room to the left.
Somebody want to open the door?
I think Reginald will like slowly step forward and like pull out his decoder wheel and just kind of rotate it a little bit, and just like a little meteor of fiery energy as he will prepare a firebolt as he slowly opens the door.
Is it like a closed door to our left?
Mm-hmm. Yep, closed door to the left and to the right.
I'm just gonna take a quick look at it before.
Make an investigation roll as Reggie's like stepping up to it, and you're like stepping in, scanning it, tries you to see if you see anything.
All right. 11.
You don't see anything.
Uh-oh.
Reg, you push the door open in front of you. The room on the other side, you see what looks like a pair of tables. There's all manner of like debris rattling around on the floor and such. Oops, hang on one second. What you do see, however, is with like its back to you a bit over here in the corner of the room, it's like messing with like a bunch of like items that are on this table. You peer in, and it looks at first like somebody that's wearing like a cloak that's kind of ratty and tattered and like banged up, and then it turns as the door opened, it turns and looks back to you, and I think that you see like the profile of a lizard person's face, but it's bound in like rags, and there's like this dust just kind of wafting off of it, and as it turns fully around, looking like, "Who arrives?" Like opening its mouth, you realize like it has no eyes, and there's like this rotted bone emerging, clearly like this undead lizard mummy type figure is right here. So I say to you guys, as it's 10:53, do we roll initiative right now?
I mean, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
We got it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll initiative. Click the things.
Yeah.
Roll the initiative.
Woo!
We get Will all the way here to not roll initiative. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we
It's always
can't
like-
do that to him.
Yeah, no.
So
Reg is
fun.
like, oh, mummy.
Oh gosh, it did it again. It keeps like not showing me who is on my initiative lists, and so I have way too many of you guys. Okay, so Lux didn't roll a 20.
Rolled a 21.
That's not Naya. Bear with me one second. There is no beholder zombie.
Just a different kind of zombie.
Yep,
Mhm.
that's not here.
Holy moly, guys.
Hey, at least it rolled worse initiative than I did.
Jiminy
Yep,
Cricket.
you gotta love that. It rolled terrible initiative. Lux, you are the first one to act as the professor like opens this door. You can like just barely get a sight as you're standing on the staircase, like peering in. You see this kind of like undead, mummified lizard person peering back at you. What would you like to do?
First thing she does is wakes up Kadras.
Oh, really?
Let's go. Yeah. Absolutely.
I need you to roll a hit
Yep.
dice.
I got it. 11.
Plus what? Your proficiency bonus?
It's +5. It's plus proficiency bonus plus. It was, I think, like some. I forget what it was last time. +2, +3. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
11.
it's your hit die plus your proficiency modifier. Yeah, so it's 11 plus what else?
Oh, so
you
it's
take-
just the proficiency mod.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, your hit die already has like your con added in, right? And then the
Yes.
proficiency mod on top
That's
of
what
it.
it is. Yep.
So
11.
you take what? 14 points of psychic
No,
damage.
it's 11. I already added it all up. I like did it.
Oh, got it. I'm
Mhm.
like, how is that possible? I was getting so confused.
Okay.
you see the little face appear on your friend's bow next to you, Doc, just like, yes, vengeance. What do you want to do for your action?
Yeah. Is that like a bonus action, or does that just happen?
It just happens. You could just do it.
Okay, all right. So then bonus action, planar warrior, and then she will fire. Cadres.
Hey, Taylor. Super minor thing. I think you have +5 on Cadres here. And I think it's meant to be +3. Isn't it your proficiency
Should be her
modifier?
proficiency modifier plus her constitution modifier.
Yeah.
It's a
Plus your
confusing thing.
constitution.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because it's a hit die. That's where I was getting hung up too. Yep. But I did it right. Well, the last time when I made the little
Cool.
thingy.
21
Okay.
hits.
Great. 16 points of it's all. Wait, okay, so does planar warrior trump the necrotic, or does the necrotic trump everything?
The necrotic damage is just necrotic. Planar warrior turns everything else into non-necrotic damage, right? So, gosh, this is an insanely confusing set of things. Got it. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
It's not immune to any of this. It's not. Yeah, cool. That's all full damage. Take 16 points of damage. Noted. Second attack.
Yes. 23.
Hits.
Okay. Just.
And I imagine this is like shooting between Reggie's legs and like around.
Right over his head, I think.
Yeah.
She's on a staircase, like
Yes,
behind
yes.
you, looking down. So, like, the arrows sail past your fedora for another 8. Got it.
And that's it.
Fox, that was your action. You got movement if you want to reposition. Krazu, you're up on 19.
Can Lux like shimmy past Reggie and get in the room?
You
Yeah,
can
that
move
was
through
about
friendly
to be
spaces.
my question.
Yep, you can always
Yeah.
move through friendly spaces.
I
Yep.
think Lux is like a
Okay.
little acrobatic move and like Reggie duck and like vaults off of his shoulders, and like plops in the room over here. Comes
At
in.
the same time, I think Trazu takes advantage and does the same. And that was
Reggie, you like duck
Yeah.
and Lux, like you feel her boot off your shoulder as she like vaults in, and then suddenly the like flying form of Trazu as he just like leaps clean
Yeah.
over you, you know.
doing a flip midair. When I get to here, I'm gonna let loose one of my weapons I got here, just tossing it right at the
Got it.
mummy. And let's see if that hits. It's a 16.
16 does hit.
All right,
Oh, I
and
lied. I'm
wouldn't get
sorry.
this- Oh,
He's AC 17. I totally lied to you. I apologize.
all right. So it flies, ching right off of it, appears right back in his hand. He's going to continue to run forward, jumping up on a table here and stab down into its head with his other weapon. Oh, man.
Bonus action, brutal 12. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
As you like punch down with the second dagger, I think it like swirls around at you. This like long dead lizard person down in front of you. I think as you realize like the intensity of it while you close in, like you have to pull back as it tries to grab your wrist. I'm really sorry, Trazu. That's your
Okay.
action. That's your bonus action. That's your turn.
That's not my full movement yet, though.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna run away 10 feet.
And you have
springing-
mobile, right? So
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
fall back after making an attack. He gets no attacks of opportunity.
Exactly. So I'm basically just gonna jump and be on the end of that table right there.
Got it. You like
Ending
vault
my turn.
backwards, landing heavily on the other table. That's Trazu on 13. Naya, you are up.
Naya, who like has her sword out as mentioned when they walked in, is just like, hey, what's going on over there? What are you all fighting? Because they can't see anything, and walks forward and then sees the mummy and just like, oh, cool, and starts walking over to it. I think that covers my movement. walks over, and on the way runs her hand across her sword, which lights up in crisscrossing lines of yellow energy as a channel divinity. So I have my sacred weapon, and then as I get closer with the glowing sword, I just point at it, and I'm just like, hey, let's fight. And my eyes flash blue as for bonus action, compel duel. So you have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Nice. Compelled duel, wisdom saving throw. That's a fail.
So you are compelled to fight me. Anyone else that you try to attack, you have disadvantage against them, and you can't move away from a space that's more than 30 feet from me.
Got it. I got it. Okay.
And that's
that was your movement. That was your action. I'm going to use a legendary action at the end of your turn, and it is going to.
Should have known that was coming.
No legendary resistance, though, so that feels good. Oh. Yeah, it's going to do this. It channels a wave of negative energy as you guys just feel this cold dust like roll up off from all of it. This like shadow emerges, kind of like flashing through the room. This is going to burn 2 of its legendary actions. You guys don't even get saves. Works around barriers, around corners. Nobody can regain hit points until the end of the Mummy Lord's next turn. I should have just used it later, but nonetheless, he does that now. That was at the end of Naya's turn. Professor actually goes now.
Well, yes. I'm assuming that that's not a spell.
Nope.
Is it considered a magical effect?
Yeah, it's a magical effect, absolutely.
Okay. I think Reginald interesting. I think then Reginald will step forward and into the room and say, well, now we do not need to resort to that. And he'll twist and spin his decoder wheel as quickly as possible and hold it out and attempt to then absorb the energy as he then casts Dispel Magic upon this magical effect.
Wow, dope. Go for it. Very notably, Reya with a huge Dispel Magic last week as she freed the angel that was being carried around in your cargo ship for a little while there. But go for it. You will have to roll here, Troy. Let's take the intelligence check.
Okay. Just doing a straight int check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, flat int roll, no proficiency. You are looking to beat a 15.
Wow.
And with this, he, you know, it attempts to go, it pauses ever so briefly, and then Reginald will twist his wrist and activate the Astromancy Archive component of this, and he will roll a d4 and hope to God that it's a good one.
50-50.
Yes.
Buddy, let's go.
As quickly as it came, Reginald steps in, like banishing the magic, calling to his studies to dispel this effect. Reggie, that was your action. That was some of your movement. Is that your turn?
You will notice that the Astromancy Archive enhanced decoder wheel glows a little bit more as he gains an additional power surge from his abilities, and that is action, that is movement, no bonus action. That's my turn.
At the end of your turn, he'll use another legendary action, and you just see as he's like glaring at you. Dust begins to like swirl all around you, Naya. I need for you to make a Constitution saving throw. I know you're really good at them.
I mean now, but yeah.
Everybody within 5 feet of the mummy, which is only you. It's awesome that you moved, Trazu.
Wow.
Constitution.
Oh,
23.
Yeah. You are good. You like have to snap your eyes closed that the dust begins like surging up your nose into your eyes, blinding you for almost a moment, but you cough it off, no problem. With that, Doc, you are up on 9.
Doc is going to run forward. Bonus action branding smite as she swings her battle axe at the mummy lord.
Got it.
19.
19 hits.
So that's 10 slashing damage plus
There's
plus
a big
11
storm here, and it
radiant
just
damage.
smashed Wicked Thunder right the second that you hit that thing, Melissa. Like,
Amazing.
felt really epic.
Yeah.
Got it.
Boom,
That's
crash.
actually ridiculous. Is that fire damage? It's radiant. Okay.
Radiant damage.
Got it.
So, and then she's going to swing again. Second attack. 12 is going to
Ooh,
miss.
it's a miss.
And that's her bonus action. So Waffle's just taking the dodge action, and she's got no more movement. That's her turn.
Okay, that was your turn. It goes. It is up. It is going to. It is compelled dueled.
Actually, so I should have read Compelled Duel properly. If it gets hit by another creature, it drops Compelled Duel, which seems weird, but that's fine.
Whoops.
No, that's not your fault. It's a silly rule, so it's totally
That's
fine.
interesting.
We live
Yeah,
and
it's
we learn.
weird, right?
It's gonna go
Yeah.
for you again anyway, Naya, because how dare you? Who do you think you are? So let's have you make another Constitution saving throw. DC is 17.
Oh, that's high. Okay.
Yeah, it's a high one.
Mhm.
This thing's no bullshit.
20.
That's good, as it casts harm on you.
Oh.
Dealing 46 points of damage, reduced to 23 points of necrotic damage as it just reaches out.
Question.
Yes.
It says that you unleash a virulent disease. Now that's wording, but disease can't hurt me.
No, you are immune to disease, but this is not literally a disease. It's
Okay, just
necrotic.
checking.
No, it's a really good point that you're bringing it up. Because it's necrotic damage, right? This is just like
Right.
language and flair of the spell. I would like write harm differently if I were the guy tasked with writing that in the player's handbook. But it's much more like draining your life, right?
Oh my
than
God, yeah.
sickness.
I'm glad I passed that because the hit point maximum is reduced if I failed.
Mhm. Harm is
So how much is it that I
ridiculous.
took?
Yeah.
23 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
As it like slams you. It doesn't even slam you. It just like reaches forward, like its hand like barely like grazing up against you as you like stagger back and take that damage. You're not concentrating on anything else. That was his one time doing that. Then he is going to. That's actually just its turn. That's its action. Doesn't have a bonus action. It's not moving. It stays focused. Meanwhile, that was on 4. However, on 4, this door is thrown open, and poor sweet Waffle here, all alone in the room. The only one who is alone in the room. We hear like the door opens, and there is a terrible figure over here that really wants to get at this poor little guy.
I think this like red light turns on Waffle's head and just goes be-doo, 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 be-doo. Emergency,
gosh.
like alarm.
Yeah, Lux, I can see like a sliver through the doorway, so might be able to catch something.
Oops, sorry. I'm on like different layers. It proceeds to fire out this spike. What's Waffle's AC?
Oh gosh. Okay, I have a sheet open. 15.
Okay.
Come on, Waffle.
Nope.
Hey.
The lost.
That's really good that I didn't roll 20. So 18 does hit?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to just roll it again. So we don't, oh my God, with these 20s. I don't want this to look as terrifying as it's going to, which is why I keep re-rolling it. It's
Oh,
not
I see,
actually
I see.
making 3 attacks. That's 33 points of piercing damage to poor Waffle as he grabs it. Like this arm spike lances into the room, hooking around Waffle and then pulling it back in. Like he's probably immune to frightened. And does he take psychic damage?
Hold on. Let me double check this. Not immune to frightened. And not immune to psychic damage.
Okay, so he takes 33 points of piercing damage. That's with the psychic added in. You're in good shape
Yeah.
at psychic and
He can't
piercing.
be surprised, but that is, I don't think.
Well,
that's
he
what's
was
happening
not
here.
surprised when the
No.
undead guy grabbed him from the other room. That was on the Mummy Alert's turn. Lux, you're up on 21.
Oh my god. Okay. Jeez. Okay, so Lux just like I can see like a little bit of Waffle. So I just watched Waffle get pulled by a spike into the other room.
Mhm.
Also, Rich, I will like there might so Kadra says that all the damage dealt by it is necrotic.
All the damage is necrotic. Then Kadris wins. Kadris is like gonna
Okay.
take the cake. So yeah,
Okay,
the
interesting.
planar warrior will add extra damage, but it
Yes.
will translate to
It
necrotic.
will be necrotic. Okay. Okay. No. All right.
Which
so,
notably, this mummified lizard is not taking half damage to necrotic. At
I was
least.
gonna ask. Okay, sweet. Oh my god. Okay. I'm so scared. Okay. Lux is going to like shout to Dot. Like, well, she's just gonna shout out like Waffle. And I think we'll come to the doorway. And still can't see anything.
No, you can't.
So I think she'll like get into the.
And as you step in, what you see is like this like withered like undead form that appears to have like almost like chains like drooping down under its arms, like with these blade hands.
Blade hands.
Blade hands.
Delightful. I love it. Okay.
Blade hands. Yep.
Fuck. All right. Lux is gonna hunter's mark the thing.
Got it. Bonus action.
And fire.
Yes, destroy it.
Yeah, for the guy out front. And oh yeah, we'll fire at this thing. Ugh. Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's a shame. 24 hits. All these not really 20s, huh?
Mm-hmm.
For
So
8 plus 8 is 16. Got it.
I can attack.
It's
Woof. 15 hits.
only AC 15. Yeah.
Awesome. For 19.
Wow, for 19 points of damage as you punch these 2 arrows into it, and its eyes, glimmering yellow, turn up towards you, looking past Waffle as it's like holding the little thrashing metal dragon in its arms. Like,
Let him go.
no. Lux, that was on your turn. Trazu, you're up on 19.
I hate it so much.
Okay. Yeah, this thing's still here, and it looks real scary. So I'm gonna run up.
You come
And
racing,
just-
jumping off the table, like as you hit the ground behind
Yeah.
it
Slash.
with advantage.
Yep. Swing the giant fang, catching it. I don't know.
Ooh, brutal
13.
13. Unfortunately, like
Yeah.
misses as you swing in from behind. I'm double checking all your modifiers. Yeah, that's
Man.
perfect, I think.
That is a shit
Bad
roll.
rolls.
2 13s on
Yeah.
advantage. Come on.
Yeah, with a +9.
Second.
Second.
Yes.
20! Sometimes
better.
roll
There
20
we
goes. And it
go.
was like, fuck that. You don't want to waste your
Yeah.
sneak attack when a crit is coming, my friend. So
All
that's
right.
28 plus 10 is 38 points of damage.
For like the offhand attack there, do I take away like the what's added to it?
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry
alright.
about that. No. You're dual wielding. The daggers
Right.
are cool for that. So that's 28 plus 11 is 39 points of damage. It's still up, but man, after you put this knife in it, it like staggers a bit here, Trazu. It looks like battered, bashed. That's your action. That's your bonus action. You got some more movement.
You guys take care of this. I'm gonna see what's going on over there. Yeah, I'm gonna make it all the way to the doorway.
Got
And
it.
I like peek around. Can I see what the thing is?
You can just barely, if you like stick your head out, see like this humanoid looking figure holding on to Doc's little mechanical dragon.
Okay. Yeah. That doesn't look good. That's my turn.
Okay, at the end of your turn, it will use a legendary reaction. It is going to.
What's even the reaction?
Yeah, it's really annoying, the legendary reactions, huh? It's just going to make an attack, and it tries to just punch you right in the face here, Naya. 13 is a miss. Your shield, like, bang, coming up, deflecting it. That's its first legendary action. That's the end of your turn. Naya, you are up.
Naya's going to circle around to get flanking.
Yes.
And while they're doing that, they're going to run their hand across their sword one more time. And instead of, like, these, along with these, like, yellow crisscrossing lines on it, a, like, crackly blue energy flows across their sword as they cast Thunderous Smite on their weapon, because that's bonus action. And then they're gonna start swinging. So also whatever I land has +4. There's no global attack modifier. We should add that probably to my sheet, but
yep, I can put it right in for you. But got it. You got +4 to attack with the Thunderous Smite. Go for it. 27 totally hits.
Great. So that is. I'm not gonna. Do I get to choose when I want to do that? Let me check. First time you get a melee weapon during spell observation. Yeah. So that is 2 + 6 plus another 2d6 thunder damage, and it has to do a strength saving throw.
Okie doke. When it makes its strength save, you get another 2d6 points of damage on it.
Yes, sorry, I'm trying. There we go. So that's 6, 12, 8, 14 damage on that.
Boom! As the Thunderous Smite like explodes off of it, dust reverberating off of it.
19 + 4, 23.
19 does hit. Yep. 23 hits. Yep.
Yeah, and screw it because I got it, and this is undead. So
sure is. Gets it freebie.
Yeah. Another similar sound like that thunder rings out as Divine Smite at 2nd level hits.
So it's 4d8.
Yes. So that is 22 points of damage.
Got it. Naya with the second strike as Einreeve like cleaves down in the like bluish light having discharged from the thunderous strike. The yellow crisscross lines like glow, searing, and just like you like cleave through this thing's body as it like collapses to the ground in these two heaps, dust kicking up out around you all throughout the room. You're like coughing and choking a moment. That's your action. You still have a little bit more movement.
Naya, while coughing, dry coughs, takes the smell to make sure they still have their sense of smell. Worried about any possible diseases that could affect that. Too soon? Is it too
immune to
disease? Yeah, that's true.
yeah, you're good.
I used how many feet of movement just now?
You used 10, I think, again. Or yeah, 5, 10, yeah.
Okay, great. So then, yeah, the rest of it, knowing that. Can I see anything else? I don't think so, right? Yeah, I guess knowing that.
No, there's a door over here to the south, which actually should be open, but yep.
Okay. Is there anything interesting beyond that door?
As you're looking into the room, you see what looks like a like this black ooze all over a kind of ritual circle on the floor and a whole bunch of like shelves and stuff. But you do see like you did see Lux jump into the other room, and you hear Waffle's alarm going off. So there doesn't appear to be any enemies to the south.
So I think Naya looks towards the new room with a circle and black ooze and like really interesting stuff, and then looks at Reggie and just goes, "That's one," and then goes after Waffle.
Excellent.
Love it.
You can move yourself, Naya, and then Professor, it will be your turn on 12.
I think that puts me.
Okay, I think the professor shall move back into. I think the professor was also drawn to this door down here, but now seeing Naya like show some resolve here, some patience, then the professor will instead go to the assistance of
Is everybody moving away from Doc?
Yeah.
Waffle.
Oh my
Hi, Doc.
damn.
Doc's an
Doc's
independent
fine.
individual.
What could
anyway.
go wrong?
She made her own best friend. She doesn't need any of you.
Excuse you.
I know, I'm really a jerk. I'm sorry.
My goodness.
Okay, does this creature that Doc or that Waffle is fighting look like super duper beefy, or like is he
No.
like
I
No.
mean, it looks like a golem to you, probably most like a flesh golem almost. It's clearly not just like a person. It looks pretty tough. It's got these like jagged blade hands with kind of like chains drooping down out of its arms from underneath that it's holding Waffle to its chest with these blade arms, trying to like rip them apart.
Oh. I think Reginald will spin his he will spin his Dakota reel, and he will then reach down and grab and pull in the augmentation of the clockwork amulet, and then he will cast a chromatic orb at 2nd level using the clockwork amulet for a guaranteed roll of 10, which will be an 18 to hit.
Hits.
Great. This is going to be I think he's just going to default to fire damage, not knowing any better.
Okay.
Level 2, submit. That is 14 points of damage.
14 points of fire damage as the chromatic orb like surges past Waffle, blasting into him. He takes the 13 points of damage. Waffle, or 14 points of damage, I should say. Waffle takes 13 points of psychic damage, Doc. As this thing is damaged, it's like it like screams out this horrible sound and damages Waffle that's holding it.
Waffle falls limp in the arms of the lost.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
I'm so cruel. I'm so sorry. Professor, that was your movement. That was your action.
Oh.
We're gonna burn this temple to the ground.
Yeah, we are.
Waffle like falls loose from its arms. Kang! Like so much inert metal on the ground, and its face just turns, looking up at Lux and the professor, the two blade arms rearing up like, you are next. Anything else, or is Doc up?
I think the professor will just like lower his head a bit and stare just past the brim of the fedora and say, "You will regret that action." And that's my
Doc, you hear the sound of metal falling in the other room. Bang! The professor's words like echoing as you turn, looking back. You are up. What would you like to do, Doc?
I think Doc screams bloody murder as
Do
she
you guys have a
runs.
connection? Can you just feel that? Can Doc feel that when that happens?
I think so, because I was very quickly reading Steel Defender rules, and like if I die, so does Waffle. So like I think that there is. I don't think Doc understands it at all, but that there is some sort of like. I think she thinks she built Waffle, but I think that there's clearly more to it than that. She doesn't understand because it's kind of beyond the realm of books. And
So you just feel this like ice pick in your heart, right? As all this happens and you come like charging in.
And I think that she is Waffle still technically grappled or no?
Yeah. Yes.
I think she is going to like wrench Waffle out of its arms or an attempt to do that.
You can use one of your attacks to make it opposed athletics check.
Okay, gonna do that.
Oh, jeez.
I think that like it doesn't really seem to like care that much, but as soon as you start pulling, it's like like pulling it away to try to kind of like lure you back in. Very notably, the room behind it, you're hearing the sounds of like bubbles and burbling, and there's like smoke rolling up out of what look like cauldrons. That was your first attack, Doc. You may make your second attack. You could do the same thing if you want.
Yeah, I'm just double checking something really quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, she's gonna do it again.
Okay, make it athletics check.
And
As
she
you
just
like really
let
reach and grab it.
Go of my Waffle. Oh god. Is this an ability check?
Yes.
Okay, we'll make that 17.
17.
God damn it.
Son of a bitch.
9 now. It's like holding Waffle, not having it. That's Doc's action, is trying to pull this thing out of its hands.
Fuck.
Bonus action?
I don't think she's got anything she can do without him. So she just stands there and tries to, I don't know. She's just filled with rage.
Okay. It goes. It is going to step forward and try to just harpoon you, Doc. I think it throws Waffle to the ground behind it. And then it steps forward. Yeah, he's terrible. He steps forward into the doorway. 17. Does that hit?
Shield, no.
Shield, no. Second attack.
Sorry, to clarify, her shield, not the spell shield. She has.
I got you. 11 is going to be a miss. That's it. It like steps forward and begins like hammering away at Doc, standing in the doorway with her shield up. To no avail. Lux, you're up on 21.
Is the Mummy Lord turn as well?
Already did.
Oh, it's dead.
Yeah.
Well, how did I miss that?
I don't know.
I'm too worried about Waffle.
Everyone running away. I was like, yeah, no, that's good.
Everybody's got
I was like, I was too blinded.
That's why I love dynamic lighting. I really love it when like you don't know everything going on with everybody, you know? You're up.
Okay, bonus action, Lux Misty steps behind this thing.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Picks up Waffle and will cast Cure Wounds.
Doesn't work because he's metal.
I think that
right?
like I don't know if Lux knows that.
Yep, that's okay.
I think that Lux is gonna like just try and heal him and like realizes it doesn't work. And then just like as she's like holding him like and nothing's working, I think she like just screams at this thing from behind it and like that's it.
That was your bonus action. That was your action as you pick up Waffle and cast Cure Wounds. I need at the end of your turn for you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
There are vapors rolling up out of these cauldrons, and you're just like, Lux.
Flash of Genius. I don't know if it'll do anything. But
Ooh, what does that bring it to? 14?
14.
DC
Let me just double check. Flash of Genius isn't a reaction.
Sure.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
Well, she just had her turn.
Sorry, it is a reaction. So, but I have. I did it on my turn.
You used it on your turn, which burned it for this round, so you don't have it
Okay.
now. You don't have your reaction till the top of next round. So a 9 is a failure. Lux, you fall to the ground unconscious. As gas like swarms through Lux's head, you watch her eyes like roll back for a moment, and she slumps, like falling into this thing, and then you hear the bow clatter out of her hand, and you just hear this voice coming from the room, like, "No, no, weakling. Weak." That's on Lux's turn. Trazu, you're up on 19.
Wow. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna run up.
You can
and
attack it from
can
right
I
there.
attack from there? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. Stab. It's a
18 hits. Yes.
Thank God. I have people here, so sneak attack.
You sure do.
So that's 13. Is that 28?
Yeah,
Or
indeed it
okay.
is. It sure is, Trazu. That's
Okay.
28 points of damage as you step forward and just fucking take the dagger, like, you jam the fang of this thing right into this thing's head, like wrenching it out. You feel the side of the dagger like chip the stone of the wall. Trazu, that literally zeroes him out right there with that
Oh,
attack.
man. Okay.
Like, punch the knife through his head, and you feel it like thrash for a minute as you slam him into the wall, but yanking the blade out, you like go to stab him a second time, but it's just like slumping down to the ground behind you, next to Doc.
Okay. Do I see anything else in the next room?
Yes.
Like taking a step forward?
Yes. You step forward over the body of this thing, Trazu. You see these 6 cauldrons in the room. They're bubbling. There's like gas seemingly kind of like rolling up over the top, out of the top of them. And notably, I think that you see in the back of the room these stacks of what look like gold bars sitting on the table on the far side of the room back here.
Okay. I'm gonna take like a step into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, only 10 feet so far. I'm gonna make my way over there.
Mm-hmm.
Is she down? Is she like...
As you step forward, there's no wounds
Yeah.
on her. She's not bleeding. She's not battered, but she is like on the ground with her eyes closed, the bow sprawled out of her hand.
Can I like roll some kind of check to see if I like know
Go for it.
anything?
Yeah, make a medicine check.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't take any damage at all.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not sure what's wrong with her. As you kneel down over her and are looking, you're not sure. Let me check with everybody as we're basically out of initiative. What's everybody else doing here?
I think like if Naya goes around the corner and sees Lux is down, Naya's gonna like bolt and like almost like drop and skid to the floor and like grab Lux. They're like, Lux, wake up, and like try to like get them awake and try to figure out like what's going on. I think immediately they'll just try and lay on hands. But that does stuff against disease or poison.
If you burn 5 points to burn off poison, her eyes flutter open.
Awesome. Oh, thank God.
Waffle.
Doc, what are you doing?
Doc is going to run over and like grabs Waffle and immediately like I think she's sobbing, but like out of her vest pop these tools that like start working that are somehow like again like without her actually even being totally aware of what's happening have started to cast mending on Waffle.
Professor, what are you doing?
Professor walks down off of the crates that he is standing upon toward the Sorrow-Sorn body that is in the doorway,
Mm-hmm.
and in a way that no one else is seeing because they are probably attending to the others. He drags it out of the room and then begins to wallop it over and over and over again until its face is unrecognizably crushed into the floor.
Trazu, as you're standing in the back of the room, I think you hear a voice, soft, as though it's right beside you, like, "Are you there? Can you hear me?"
Wait, who's there?
Me, here, in your pocket.
Okay.
As you look down and you like pull the orb out, and you see a face inside of it looking back at you. The skin kind of like bluish, a black mustache curled up around the lips, like bindings wrapped around the head. It's like this face like peers to the other side, like, this next part, don't be afraid, but it's not for you. You've done your part, gotten them this far, and well, against all odds, you've brought me back.
Who are you?
Who am I? Give me a minute while the Dungeon Master looks at his notebook. I am Nushadai the Majestic. I am the one summoned by the worms to make this part work. And suddenly, out of the top of the cauldrons, light begins to glow in these columns straight to the ceiling. And like this spherical column suddenly almost eggs out into like a tear shape, right? Lux, you're like pinging for a minute as you're like suddenly like coughing, the smoke filling up the room. Professor, from the far side of the room, you hear a voice like from in the room, like, don't be alarmed. This next part was destined. Prophecy, often tied to the ways of heroes. I suspect you will return. As Trazu, you're watching, and I think first Doc, holding the like battered form of Waffle, sobbing, begins to just like go thin, and you could see through her to Naya and Lux at the other side, who are like rising up off the ground. Lux, you have enough sense. You hear this voice from the ground, like, "Do not leave me here, witch!" As you like grab the like twisted bow and you watch while both of them begin to fade. Professor, you step into the doorway. You see these 6 columns of light emerging up out of the actual like cauldrons burning that have opened into what can only be described as portals, and they begin almost like kind of rotating around in a circle, and you see Lux and Naya in front of you going like thin and insubstantial. Doc holding the battered form of Waffle with the same. Trazu, notably on the other side, is very firmly standing there, like intact, with the blue orb in one hand. What do you want to do, Professor?
I think he would reach out toward his friends and attempt to grasp them.
As your hand connects with Lux, suddenly your fingers almost begin to Marty McFly, the translucentness like running down your arm, casting over you. Trazu, you're like watching them all fade out as you hear the voice from the orb, like, "Oh, well, this is rather intense. I haven't seen this in a long time. Don't be afraid. I promise I won't hurt them." Do you want to say anything, Trazu? You're like watching all these friends of yours you made fade away in front of you in the room.
Can I insight check this thing?
Sure. Yeah, you want to insight check the orb?
Are you gonna?
Insight
Yeah.
checking an orb is a
Listen,
dragonfly
down at the
pattern.
Let's fucking
Yes.
go.
Trazu,
Oh my
you lift it up, like looking at it, and his face is peering right back at you, and he's like, I swear it to you, by whatever gods you worship, this has been a long time coming. They'll be okay. Well, as long as the guy on the other side made out better than I did. With that, the 4 members of the Dragonfly who are down in this chamber, along with the battered form of one broken, banged up, riled Waffle, you turn and you all can see Trazu on the far side of the room. Is there anything that you would like to say? You feel yourselves like slipping away. You feel like you don't feel the ground under your feet anymore. Is there anything you guys want to say?
I think that Lux, though, like in this moment, has reached out to grab Reggie, but I think she's also like reached out to like grab Doc and Waffle, like as this is happening, and is like, yeah, just like in this moment, just kind of like grasping the two of them and like looking at Naya like in front of her, like.
I think Naya's eyes is darting around and looks over at Trazu and says, "Tell the others on the ship."
I think Trazu just looks back to Naya and is like, all right, I'll get the pastries. If you don't come back.
No, the pastry.
And with that, I think that the 4 of you and Waffle suddenly see the room like fading away, another like becoming superimposed over it, and you suddenly see a hallway in front of you leading to a strange square space with what can only be described as another mirrored kind of portal on the far side of the room as you're peering towards it. And the group of you all like standing here, the camera snaps back to Trazu standing alone in the ruins, the basement of the temple of Halcynod. And I think that from inside the orb, you just hear this voice like, I swear I wasn't going to hurt them. Can you do me a favor and release me from this?
How?
Well, just try that. Just say, I release you from this.
All right, I guess. From that insight check, did it seem like nice? Like,
Yes. I'm sorry. It seemed like it was concerned that you were going to be afraid.
Okay.
And like, that's what it was trying to absolve, right? Like a genuine, like, really, don't be afraid. You don't need to be afraid.
all right, I free you from the orb.
And Trazu, I think as you do so, suddenly smoke swirling in the center of the room begins to like coalesce as like this large kind of rotund 12-foot tall blue-skinned man with a curved kind of scimitar at his belt and head wraps. This ruby in the center appears in front of you and is like, that feels good. They trapped me in there when they broke it. That thing is not where I belong. I am so much happier. So, Trazu, what was it that you wished to find when you came here? Because I may be able to get it for you.
I mean, I heard tales of some ancient relic in here.
Oh, yes, dozens of them. Well, we'll start with those, but I'm sure I can cover at least 3 major ticket items. My syntax, it's strange. You keep that orb. That's sure to have some tricks of its own. Come on, let's take a walk. and I'll tell you the story of how the Hall of the Synod fell. And I think that on that note, the camera fades to black, and that's where we'll leave our adventurers tonight. Thank you guys for bearing with me.
Oh, you got a genie friend.
Thank you all for bearing with me tonight and being patient. This went much longer than I expected. I should know better. Not like I'm a professional, but this was very fun. Will, congratulations. You have D&D'd in space.
Woo. Yeah,
Amazing.
thank you so much for having me, Rich.
Dude,
I had
thank
a
you
blast.
for joining us. I hope it was fun. I hope this was
Oh,
fun
yeah.
for everyone.
This is amazing.
Yeah, this
I
was
did not
fantastic.
expect a genie to come out of the ball.
Who does?
Oh
Never
my
do.
god. Yeah.
Was this all right? Was this good for you guys? Everybody feeling good? You guys okay?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Am I
you know,
okay?
you killed Waffle, so
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah,
everyone but
we are.
Waffle's feeling great.
I'm
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
sorry. I wasn't looking to kill Waffle, but he was alone in the room. I was like, oh wow, this is my only chance.
It raises the stakes, right?
Yeah.
Sure does. This was freaking awesome. We went very late tonight. I'm sure some of us have plugs. Does anybody want to plug anything before we part? It's a late night on a school night. Melissa, Kevin, you guys want to hype up any of the stuff you're doing?
Go, Melissa, go.
Sure, yeah. Listen to Kevin and I with the great Adam H talking Doctor Who over on the Post Show Recaps Patreon. Patreon.com/Post Show Recaps at the $5 level gets you access to bonus podcasts, which includes our coverage of Doctor Who. We're starting with the new Who series, and that's been really fun so far. Also, Mighty Ducks Game Changer Season 2 comes out starting next week
Quack,
on
quack.
Disney Plus.
What?
So Kevin and I will be covering that for the Post Show Recaps main feed. So check that out. That's very exciting.
You guys matriculated like the Ducks. You made it out of junior high. I love it. It's
That's what I
so
was
good.
saying.
Yeah.
We're in the junior games now.
Troy, Kevin, anything you guys want to be promoting or plugging? You guys are out there working your angles.
Subscribe to twitch.tv/DMPhilly.
Gosh, thank you. Yeah.
And give the
We're
man
one
a
follower
follow.
away from 400.
Follow.
Be
We're so close
Mr.
to
400 or
400.
Mrs. 400 or whoever 400. Do it.
I got to set
Yeah.
some
Want that
real
number.
goals and start hyping this stuff up. Yeah, but if we break
Yes.
400, then we'll have 400 people, and then I'll set a goal for probably 420 people, because that's an arbitrary
Yes.
It's
number.
420. Yeah.
Uh,
Let's go.
If we get to 420, we will do Dragonfly High. You heard it here.
Oh,
yeah. I'm sold.
absolutely. 100%.
Why do I feel like that
Dragonfly.
requires very little twisting of arms?
Feels like. Will, man, this was delightful to have you. It was too
Amazing.
long. I'm glad that you made it. I hope that this felt like a full experience. It's never enough time, but I'm sure that we will see you again. But I hope this was cool.
Yeah, anytime. Always
Awesome.
around.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining.
Absolute delight having you here. Everybody, thank you for hanging out, for stopping in, for watching this in the VODs. I'm podcasting about stuff. You can find me. I'm at DM Philly. Just go follow my Twitter. You'll hear about all the stuff we're doing. It's a school night. I'm going to go. Let's get off the internet so we can all go to sleep. Not that we're going to. We'll probably talk about this for a few minutes. But still, let's go get off the internet. I think it's that time of night. Goodbye, my friends. Bye.